Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 67 of Punching Up, Last Stand Media's weekly Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, as always, Brad Ellison. Joining me are my two lovely co-hosts. We're going to start with Micah Moriarty this week. Micah, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing quite well. As people who follow me on Twitter may have seen, it was quite the saga, the past couple days of getting my Switch 2 delivered. Happily got it, and we'll get into that later, but I'm doing better than I thought I would be because originally it wasn't projected to be delivered until Wednesday, the 11th.
Oh.
And then we had the whole debacle of it said it was going to be delivered on Friday, and then it wasn't. So I'm doing better than I thought I would be. I actually got to play it this weekend and had a lot of fun.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. Awesome. Do you have kiwi earrings? It's hard for me to see from here.
Yes, these are kiwis.
Nice.
Colin's sister actually made these. AllieandAyla.com, I think, is the website. Fantastic earrings and all. She's also on Twitter, I believe. So Go check those out. She has previously done like Sacred Symbols collaboration. So the listeners may be familiar with her site already. She had done earrings for our previous live shows at one point and was selling them. That might have been the Richmond show, actually, at the National that we did that.
Cool. Awesome. And also the lovely Mr. Gene Park, Washington Post, all that good stuff with a nice Smith shirt. Very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's actually Will
those Smiths, okay.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that shirt before. I forgot about that.
That's I wear the shirt all the time. It's one of my favorite shirts. How's it going, man?
Good, dude.
I actually booted up Persona 5 Strikers, if you heard that just now. A little bit.
Oh, really? On Switch 2?
Yeah, I want to see how that runs on the, I don't know, let me
get it going. Yeah, we're still in that territory of testing things. Everyone's looking at all these games still. Yeah.
So it's running at like 30 FPS. So,
okay.
So it I guess it was capped at 30 FPS. So that's probably when it happens. We'll talk all about this later. But honestly, I haven't played a lot of Switch 2. So that's if you're hoping to hear a ton of Switch 2 impressions, I played it a ton on the first night I got it. And then, I played Mario Kart World a couple times, including with Brad.
We did play together. That was really fun.
Yeah, I played it with the Blowjob Brothers when they were at a summer gay fest.
I've kind of been in the same boat. I did play a lot the first night I got it, but I've been at Summer Game Fest, and I honestly haven't had time to play anything, and it makes me sad. But I got to see a lot of cool stuff, which you'll hear about in the future on Summon Sign.
Yeah. I'm excited to play. I'm really looking forward to getting some time to actually just sit down with the Switch 2 and enjoy it for a little bit.
I am excited.
Pro controller right here. It feels really good.
It does feel good.
I really, really enjoy it. It's really one of the better controllers for sure.
Yeah,
I'm so upset because mine just got delivered this afternoon, so I haven't even gotten a chance to play with it yet. I took it out of the box and held it. And I'm like, oh, sweet, this thing's awesome. The one thing I'll say, I miss that it's not that semi-translucent anymore.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, I love the era of translucent electronics. That is the number one 90s kid thing that I adored was translucent tech. And I loved the Switch Pro controller that was that smoky gray translucent plastic. It's just a little bit of a disappointment that they didn't continue it with the Switch 2 Pro controller. I understand making it look different, but you could have done a cool color. You could have done red or blue.
Maybe in the
something.
future. I mean, we'll get.
I hope so.
We'll get special ones.
Did they ever do fun Pro controllers on Switch, or was it strictly the Joy-Cons that got the special editions?
Well, they did different game Switch Pro controllers. Yeah, there's that one. That's the Xenoblade one. I have the Zelda one. They've done a couple of those, but not it's Monster Hunter. Yeah,
Monster Hunter Rise. Yeah, here. I try to buy a bunch of them for sure because I love the Switch Pro controller and I love the special editions that they did. So I'm really looking forward to the special editions of the Pro controller. Sure.
Yeah, this time I'll be in the market for it because essentially I bought my Switch. I had two Pro controllers, and then when they did do those couple, wasn't super interested in either of those, which is clearly why I forgot. But also, I just was already like, I already have 2 Pro controllers, and I'm the only one who's playing this thing. So, but now I have 1 Switch 2 Pro controller, so I could justify a second one. But I'll wait. I'll definitely wait.
Semi-translucency, though. If you see on the screen, I'm putting it up here, but you can see a little bit of the guts of the Pro controller. You know,
yeah,
that was always fun,
cool.
and made the Pro controller just feel a little bit unique among the other controllers. You know.
Yeah.
No, it just reminded me of seeing like the translucent like Game Boy Advances and stuff like that. A girl in my class had like the purple translucent one, and I was just like, dude, that thing's sick. And so like when I finally got my Game Boy Advance SP, which I loved, and she's still alive, I got the cool blue one, but I was like, damn it, they didn't do translucent for these. Because that was I just remember too as a kid seeing when like the cool college kids would have like the colorful like Mac computers and everything. And I was just like, oh my God, colorful and translucent tech is my favorite. I can't wait to be an adult. And then I'm an adult and the MacBook comes in silver or gray. And I'm like, great.
Yeah,
thanks.
That's it.
You know, I did get the yellow iPad. They made a yellow iPad. I got one on clearance. That was excellent. But
the cheese block.
I'll forever be disappointed that translucent tech isn't still like everyone's favorite thing.
Yeah. Sadly, not here right now. Maybe in the future. I doubt they'll do like a bright purple or anything like that, like a GameCube controller, but that'd be cool. I liked it in 64 when they did all those weird colors. That was fun.
Exactly. I did get the GameCube controller in the mail as well.
Oh, nice.
And I was lucky not lucky. I was happy somewhat to hear that I wasn't the only one who got a filthy GameCube controller. I don't know if either of you guys got it, but I opened up the box and the sticks were dirty. And it wasn't like dust you could just like blow on it. Like I had to wipe it off like with like a Q-tip and water. And I tweeted about it and I got so many replies from other people saying their GameCube controllers were also dirty. So at least I wasn't alone in that, but I don't know what the hell was going on. Someone also pointed out that the print was off center. I didn't even notice that because as soon as I opened, I was just like, this thing's filthy. I didn't even notice that the text was way off center on the outer box. So I don't know what's going on with the GameCube factory, you know, but at least it works.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks, Nintendo. Before we end the show, please check us out on patreon.com/lastdaymedia. If you'd like to support us, you can get early ad-free access to all of our shows, including this one. You get this one a day early. You can get stuff like Sacred Symbols Plus, where we have other things on there, like Colin talked to Neil Druckmann pretty recently. I think he's going to have a conversation with David Jaffe soon on there, so keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. Also, if you want some merch, lastdaymedia.store, you can get merch sent out by Micah herself. She handles all that stuff. So you want Micah to pack you a shirt, some stickers, go on over there. Make her get to work. Earn that paycheck, Micah.
Always.
All right. This is from the Juan One. Just want to shout out to Micah. She was right. Brad is a giant. Every picture he took during SGF looked like a scene from The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Everyone in the LSM crew looked like a hobbit compared to Brad. Okay. So let me say this. No disrespect, but we have some short kings at LSM, and that's just the way it is. I am 6'2". I am above the average height, but I'm not a giant out there. Okay.
No, he's
and Cog is shorter than me, but Cog was leaning over like a cave
troll. The dude in the Discord was like, he's at least 6'5", and I was like, I knew it.
You guys are just like feeding these lies to these people, and they're starting to believe them because you keep saying it over and over again. The Blowjob Brothers, this is going too far.
I've seen you in person, Brad, and like one of the first things I said is, wow, he's really tall. Yeah. So I just feel like Brad is taller than he's saying. I don't know why you're hiding it. I do get that
a lot because, you know, when you see someone that you only see on camera in person, it could be weird. You're like, whoa.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, dude, I mean, like meeting Dan from Game Grumps, I knew he was tall because they have done videos where like they're on screen, but it still was startling how tall he actually was. I mean, I just realized more and more how short I am, and the people around me, I guess, aren't as tall as I think.
Yeah, we got some shorties.
When I meet a truly tall person such as Bradley, 6'5", or Dan, who I don't know how tall he is, I was like, holy shit! I just look like a child.
It's like I'm not that much taller than Gene. Gene, you're like 6'1", aren't you?
I'm 6 feet, so yeah, I'm
2 inches taller
definitely
than
not among the Hobbiton of
the hobbits.
Last Sam Media.
Yeah.
I got insulted when Colin thought that he was like, oh, Gene's taller than I thought, and it's like you sound just like the girls on Tinder.
Yeah, judgmental.
Yeah,
but it's a good surprise.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure. I mean, that always surprises girls on Tinder. They're always like, "Oh, I didn't know he was."
Aren't they adding like a height thing to that now?
Yes. That's related to the recent news that they're actually gonna let girls have a height preference, which is so fucked up.
Are they gonna put like a weight reference then?
That's
so guys can do that.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
yeah,
can
they be over 200 pounds and make sure they have fat ass titties?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Come on, man.
It's like when Colin and I used to watch that Kevin Samuels guy who died. But whenever these women would call into him, this is very important. Women would call into him for advice. Yeah. But the first thing he'd say, he'd be like, "What's your height, weight, and dress size?" Yeah. And like that's how he would start the conversation, because from there it would dictate how nice he'd be to you. And also like he'd essentially be like, "No, you ain't got no hope." He's like, "You're already putting up with this man. That's the best you're gonna get." You know, like he was ruthless. Yeah. Or no, you could do better. You know, you could do better. You leave that guy. But it was how he started every conversation. And Colin and I just still say that to each other because it was so funny.
Yeah, rest in peace, dude. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, he was something else. I don't endorse his ideas, but he was just really funny. Well, I say that because that dude was like cracked. Okay, he'd be like, "It's okay to cheat." It's like
shit. Yeah,
that dude was cracked out. However, he was really funny.
Yeah, damn. All right, this is from Dave Growler Derby. Howdy, folks. I have a years-long running bit with my wife that I think a macaroni and cheese sandwich made with banana bread slices would be amazing. I feel like she thinks I'm joking, but I really do think the combo would work. The conversation always ends with her asking me why I haven't tried it yet. I say that I know it would be good, but inside I think a little part of me is afraid that the brilliant idea of mine would fall flat. Do you guys think this would work? Should I finally attempt it? Is the possibility of a dope-ass weird food combo discovery worth the risk of my dream dying? Thanks. All right, Micah. So I blame all these questions on you, these kind of questions we get, so you must answer first.
Here's the thing. I think it could work depending on the mac and cheese. I wouldn't want to do this, but I think it depends on what you do for mac and cheese. I do a extra sharp cheddar and Parmesan cheese blend for my mac and cheese. It's got a little bit of, the tang, a little bit of like the saltiness. Is not too extreme cheesy though. I would think that maybe something like that, a cheddar based mac and cheese could work with banana. It also depends on your banana bread. I make my banana bread less sweet than a lot of other people. I let the bananas get nice and ripe so they're naturally sweet. And the recipe I use calls for like a half cup of sugar. Some of them call for a full cup, right? Mm-hmm. So I think if your banana bread's less sweet and perhaps you like grilled it with some butter in a pan, because I've also made like you can make like banana bread French toast, for example. That works really good, and that's got like the eggs and everything in it. So I know we're analyzing this far longer than we should be, but I think it could work. I will say though, I know the feeling of letting the dream die. One time I was like baked out of my mind, and I thought it would be a really good idea to take a frozen pizza and pour prepared like Kraft mac and cheese on top of it. Okay. It was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But I will say the mac and cheese grilled cheese was excellent.
Yeah.
So sometimes you gotta let your dreams, be dreams, and then sometimes you gotta let your dreams be memes.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't maybe keep stringing your wife along until she's like, if you don't try it, I'm divorcing you, and then you gotta try it.
Yeah.
And then you gotta admit if it's bad, or never admit it.
Yeah. I gotta say, Dave, this sounds gross as fuck. So I'm gonna say no. But Gene, what do you think?
No.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. You wouldn't try like one bite? Just one.
Yeah. No, Micah, sorry. I can't do it. It's too much. So, sorry, Dave. But Micah's rooting for you.
I'm trying.
Okay, this is from Johnny Lamotte, or however you say your last name, Lamotte. Lamotte? I don't know. I just came to tell Micah, please throw away her Switch Lite. She's triggering me. Laughing, crying emoji. play Breath of the Wild 2 or Breath of the Wild on Switch 2, you mad lad. Brad and Gene, I think I've had enough. Or I think enough is enough. It's time for an intervention. Are you playing Zelda on your Switch Lite?
No. I tagged you in that on Twitter to upset people.
Oh, mission accomplished.
You. Well, here's what happened. I'm going to be honest, okay? Like, I just tweeted that. I was like firing it up on the yellow flash of the Leaf, which is the Switch Lite. And, I tagged you in it. It was just supposed to be a hee hee ha ha. Mm-hmm. And I got to be honest, one dude on Patreon got like really angry. Really angry. And I was just like, I mean, holy shit, guy. Like, it's just a picture of a Switch Lite. You gotta call me.
Yeah, you're just fucking around.
Yeah, I mean, I literally didn't even start Breath of the Wild yet, just because it's like I was right in the middle of Fire Emblem. I'm like, I don't want to drop this. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna play it, people. I promise. I'm gonna play it on Switch 2. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't actually start it on Switch Lite. I just did that to mess with Brad.
Yeah.
Who apparently didn't even see it.
I didn't even see it. Dude, Micah, it's been a whirlwind. I'm sorry.
No, exactly. I was like, there's a half chance Brad doesn't even see this, and people just get really upset. They did.
It worked.
They did indeed get upset.
Yeah, as you gotta understand, Micah is a gigantic troll. She loves trolling. So this is just her nature. All right, Switch 2, guys. Let's talk about it now. That's finally out officially. We all have one. Let's start with the hardware itself. Micah, how do you feel about the Switch 2 hardware now that you've had a good amount of time to play with it?
So I really, really like it. The first thing that I'll say is I have been loving the kickstand itself, because my favorite way to play right now is using the nice large kickstand, because I can set it up on a soft surface. With the Switch 1 kickstand, it was just that little tab. And you could kind of set it up on like a couch cushion. You could obviously set up on a table. It didn't really work, though, for setting it up like on your lap or setting it up like essentially my couch is one of those type of couches that has like the back cushions or everything's modular. Everything comes apart. Right. And it just wasn't great for trying to set on top of that. Now I can, because this nice wide kickstand, you can really set on anything. So I've been playing it in kickstand mode with the Pro controller and using it as like a mini TV instead of strictly handheld. It's great because I've been getting that like thumb tendon pain again, which my doctor gave me exercises for. And as soon as it flares up, it's fine.
It's been great. I'm getting this huge pain again.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's been great because the thumb pain makes it so I can't hold it. I will say the Switch 2 is quite heavy.
It is.
It's about on par, I think, with the Xbox handheld I have, the Logitech G Cloud. I think it's about as heavy as that. The weight's distributed a little differently, though. And the Logitech G Cloud does have more ergonomic controller sides type deal. It's shaped a little more like a controller, so it's a little more comfortable.
Right.
And so I was struggling a bit with Switch 2 and the thumb pain, but being able to set it up in kickstand mode and use the Pro controller has been fantastic. And I find myself doing longer play sessions because I'm not dealing with the hand fatigue. So I really like it so far. The screen, in my opinion, looks great. I like the new Joy-Cons, how they snap in.
Me too.
I did pop them on the Joy-Con grip. Major complaint. The Joy-Con grip appears to be the same size as the original. Like, it's made taller to fit the new Joy-Cons. But I swear to God, like there's no more distance between your hands and the back. And it feels ridiculous with the new taller Joy-Cons. They needed to make that thing a little bit wider, in my opinion. Like, I popped it on just to see, because I didn't get the Pro 2 controller right away. And I said, this is impossible. I'm not playing with this thing. Like, it needed to be wider for how tall the sticks are now. I just said, this isn't working.
Yeah, like Gene's holding it up. Oh, yeah,
Gene's holding it up.
It looks a little bigger.
Extremely slight. I mean, it has to be slightly bigger to hold the new Joy-Cons, but I'm saying now the sticks are like offset enough that it needed to be a little wider.
I got you.
It just needed to be a little wider, because you look at like the Pro controller and just holding it feels completely different. So she just doesn't work for me. I hated the Joy-Con grip on the first one. I still hate it now. So, but I'm really liking it. It's just from the hardware standpoint, I think it's fantastic. And this kickstand mode has been great for me, playing Mario Kart and all that. We'll get into that. But it's been excellent.
I like Gene holding these things up when you're talking about like QVC or something like that, selling it. It's good shit. That is good stuff. Gene, how do you feel about the hardware so far?
I actually haven't tried the Joy-Con thing yet, so let me you get
Give
a
it a
live
feel.
test.
Yeah.
Wow, feels horrible. Great.
Yeah.
It's really tiny, right? It doesn't feel. It feels even worse than the first one. Honestly, like it feels like
Yes.
it's like wobblier at the back. Actually, it's weirder.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think that the grips are actually fatter on the original one. When you see that here, like here's a Switch 2 and here's a Switch 1 over here, it's just literally like thicker than the Switch 1, you know? So yeah, this thing is not great. I guess, yeah, I don't know. Are we just talking about hardware right now?
Yeah, just the hardware, the Switch 2 hardware itself.
Yeah, it was pretty easy to set up. You know, just popping in the like I was a little. I remember feeling a little weird about popping open the back plate to put in the HDMI and the AC adapter. If that didn't feel like it, I'm so used to clicking off the regular Switch dock that like pulling out the Switch 2 dock just felt a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fine. Otherwise, yeah, it's cool. I have the camera here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which I actually got to test for the first time on your stream, Bradley Ellis, and it actually worked kind of cool. Actually, you know, you get to see me, and I can even have like a full room view of it too.
Yeah, that unfortunate sentence you wrote. Jack on my chest.
Yeah. It was my cat on my tummy.
Yeah,
not
Jack on my tummy. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I did tweet that my cat was on my tummy, but my cat's name is Jack, so the tweet says Jack on my tummy.
Yeah. That was funny as fuck.
Yeah, did not see that one coming. So
yeah, good shit.
The dock itself is cool. It's really big. You know, the Switch 2 does feel bigger, and for people complaining about like the Switch 2's like form factor, I kind of get it, man. Between the Switch 2 and the Steam Deck, I think the Steam Deck is just way better to hold. You know,
let's go through this question real quick. This is from Cobra Dog. Hey, Brad and Co. Can you talk about the ergonomics of the Switch 2 in handheld mode? I had a problem with the form factor Switch 1 and would get serious hand fatigue when using it in handheld mode. With the larger Joy-Cons with the Switch 2, I am hoping that this is fixed for the better. Hoping to not have to purchase another third-party grip product. Thanks.
No, you're going to have to... If the Switch 1 was making you tired, and that's fair, because it also made me tired sometimes, I don't have a grip for the Switch 2. I actually just bought this like really cheapy like third-party like case like on Amazon from like a Vizio like company or whatever, some Chinese knockout company or whatever like that. But it actually fits the Switch 2 just fine in here. So this is what I'm using for now to bring the thing around to the office. But until we get like our like Skull Candy or whatever the fuck Skull and Co like companies are called, until we get those grips, I don't think I'm going to be playing a lot of handheld or like the Hori like Joy-Cons. The Hori Joy-Cons for Switch 1 were great, and they made it feel like an Xbox like on the sides, you know, or like a PlayStation Portal, you know, just nice and grippy. It's a controller split in half, you know.
Yeah.
So if you thought that the Switch 1 was making you tired, man, the Switch 2 makes me really tired. Like I get hand cramps when I'm trying to play it. The battery does run out faster. I've noticed too. Like I try to play like a little bit of the Tears of the Kingdom, and I swear to God, I only played like a few minutes, and I was already like at 70% or something. Granted, I am using the 90% charging limit.
Oh, okay.
And that's the cool thing about the OS options, that you can try to preserve battery life, lengthen the battery's life by not charging it fully. So I've been doing that.
Wish they had that for the Wii U.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but yeah, the Switch 2 is blazing fast, to 60 frames per second, Tears of the Kingdom. But you know, the battery just drops way more as a result, which, you know, cool thing about the Steam Deck, though, it really sounds like I'm trying to sell the Steam Deck on a Switch 2 podcast.
Well, you love the Steam Deck. That's fine.
I do love the Steam Deck. I do love the Steam Deck very much, which is like confuses Nintendo like maniacs, because I'm a huge Nintendo mark. I love Nintendo, my favorite company. But the Steam Deck does so much well, and part of that is because you can actually increase battery life by limiting games to 30 frames per second.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't really need Tears of the Kingdom to be 30 frames per second. I play the whole game like that, So if I really I'll play it on TV 60 frames per second, no problem. If I'm not worrying about battery life. But if I want to lengthen that battery life on a trip or something, or if I'm just in bed and I want to have to worry about being tethered to an adapter, be nice to have that option. That's the benefits of PC gaming versus console gaming.
Yeah, of course, more options.
To answer your question, Mr. Whoever,
Cobra Dog. Cobra
Dog. There it is.
Sounds like a Metal Gear boss.
Yeah,
Cobra Dog. Micah, what do you think about it?
I agree with Gene, because the thing for me is I never needed like one of the Satisfy, one of the brands or something, the grips. I never ended up actually buying one of those. Like I tried one at a friend's house and I was like, no, this is cool, but I don't actually need this. The Switch one was comfortable enough for me to hold, and especially like the Switch Lite later on, very comfortable.
Light. Yeah.
But now I do think that if I wanted to play Switch 2 in handheld mode for like an extended period of time, I would now be in the market for one of those grips. So like, unfortunately to our listener here, I think that you would definitely need one if you needed one for Switch 1, because I'm someone who thought Switch 1 was comfortable to hold, and I find Switch 2 now to be like somewhat uncomfortable, partly because like Colin held it and he immediately said like it's really top heavy. He's like, they didn't distribute the weight more towards like the bottom or anything. Like it's just like the weight is just like a slab versus being like somewhat balanced to how you're actually going to be holding it upwards. And I was like, it's just not super comfortable to be holding this thing for a long time. So I'm probably going to be one of the people in the market for one of those grips, honestly, or just keep playing in this kickstand mode because it fucking rules. Somebody had said like I was nuts because I said I was still going to bring the light like on the airplane and stuff. I'm like, dude, the light is made for travel. Me going on like a plane or to a hotel, I'm absolutely bringing the light on all travel. I'm using the Switch 2 at home.
Don't hate on the light. The light is still the smallest dedicated video game console ever. Not ever, but obviously not ever. But like right now on market. So
and it's perfect for example, like when I fly, especially flying by myself, I'll have my carry-on bag and like the underseat bag that they let you have. The Switch Lite fits perfectly in the underseat bag that I own, and that just allows me to not have to carry like a second bulky like backpack or something. So I can have like my two small bags basically on the plane with me, and the Switch Lite's just perfect for that. And the battery life. Like Gene mentioned, the battery life on the Switch 2 is not amazing. So if we're talking about going on a flight and waiting at the airport, which one would you rather bring? The Switch Lite with a much longer battery life, or the Switch 2 where you're going to be looking for a charging port at the airport? Like, I'd much rather bring the Lite on travel. So like, there's definitely still a place for it. Don't go trading in all your consoles if you don't have to. Because I think if you have a Switch Lite, you still may prefer that for on the go and everything.
Yeah.
Do not trade in your Switch 1. I think, especially like, don't make. I traded in my PS4 launch PS4. I regret that. I wish I still. I traded in my launch PS3.
Ooh,
the greatest PlayStation ever made that's backwards compatible to PS1 and PS2. That was such a stupid decision of me.
Yeah, I still have one.
So especially if you care about physical, don't trade in the Switch 1. Keep that. Especially if you like the Switch 1. If you hate the Switch, then sure, I guess if you didn't trade it in. But
yeah, I actually I think I find the Switch 2 a little more comfortable just because the Joy-Cons are bigger. I feel like the Joy-Cons are just too tiny for me on the Switch 1, and it really bothered me.
Sure.
And I still think this has a lot of room for improvement holding it, but it feels a little better. Like, I haven't played for hours or anything in handheld mode, but I played like 30 minutes, and I was like, okay, it's fine. But I'm not a handheld person, so I never play in this mode But
I mean, I'm playing like right now, like Mega Man 11 right now, and you know, like it's feeling pretty good. Like when I'm sitting up and playing this. So like,
if you're trying to like lay in bed or something, like
Oh
hold
my
it up,
God.
I could see that. You just
You'd
drop
be
and kill yourself.
concussed.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Like, you know, just like
They will find someone dead that way. Like,
But if you're actually like sitting up and playing this like on a chair or like at the airport or whatever, then this is not like terrible. But like, if you thought, to answer Cobra Guy's other question again, like if you thought the Switch One was hurting your hands, this is only gonna be worse. So
it might. Yeah, hard to say, Cobra Dog, but good luck out there. Hopefully, you don't have to spend too much money.
Like the bigger Joy-Cons are better though. Like
I do like that a lot more. That has saved my hand cramping a lot.
The thumb distance is like better. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can just hold it easier.
I think it's pros and cons. I think there's just pros and cons here of I definitely like the larger like form factor Joy-Cons. Like I definitely think this is an upgrade. But now that it's so heavy, I notice myself, like my hands kind of like tilting forward weirdly, you know, like after a while of playing it. Like I just am personally saying, yeah, it's a little too heavy for my hands. Now I'm the one who's going to go get a grip or something. Maybe this guy will be like, oh, actually, it's perfect. But I don't know. Is there a demo unit at Target you can go try out?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if there's places you could play it. I assume there are. Do
you think they got one tethered to something?
Yeah. Let's see here. This is from Numerical Chemist. Hello, you white-gloved, fist-clenched brick breakers. What are the first couple of games you tackle with the new Switch 2? I played some Mario Kart and also started a new save in Breath of the Wild with plans to go to Tears of the Kingdom later this year. Does this launch feel a little lackluster compared to previous launches? I love Mario Kart, but I think if Donkey Kong were here at launch, it would have greatly enhanced the experience. Hope all is well, and your handheld PCs still get some lovin'. Oh, don't worry, they will. What do you guys think? Michael, let's start with you.
Yeah, so to address the confusion people may have after I was so like, I just really don't want to buy Mario Kart. I was gifted a copy by a listener, completely unsolicited by myself, but I was like, well, thank you. Okay, I'll check it out. So I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart, and I've still just been playing like the Nintendo Switch Online games, you know, Fire Emblem, The Sacred Stones. It runs fantastic on Switch 2. It's a Game Boy Advance game, so but it really looks great. You know, Nintendo Switch Online works fine, works the same. It's great. The eShop 10 times better. We didn't even mention that.
Dude, night and day.
eShop's incredible. Now.
I could actually use it and not want to kill myself.
It's
so good
amazing.
Job, Nintendo.
But yeah, I jumped into Mario Kart World. I did intend to fire up Breath of the Wild, but like the opening like cinematic, I was like, what are you doing? You're not in the right headspace to start a whole Zelda game, especially not this one. I was like, you just want to dip your toes in.
Yeah, you just want to see
But I actually don't have a comparison like point because I didn't play the original, right? So, well, I mean, I played it for like 30 minutes and hated it, but I don't remember that. So I was just like, no, don't do this now. Get to that later. Yeah. And I shall. But yeah, for me, it's been Mario Kart World and the Nintendo Switch Online games. I have not checked out the GameCube offerings yet. Because once again, with Wind Waker, it's like, I don't want to just dip my toes in. I want to actually like sit down and play it. Yeah. You know? So I haven't done too much. In terms of like, does this feel a little lackluster? Yeah. Because I actually... a good friend of mine was like, did you get your Switch 2 and you know what do you think? And I said, oh, it's great. She's like, I got major FOMO, but I feel like I should wait until there's more games I want. And I'm like, yeah sure. I was like, I don't think you're missing out right now. Like she still has Mario Kart on Switch and she's playing that. I told her like in terms of exclusives, it's Mario Kart and like Donkey Kong right now, and I don't even know if you'd want that one. And I said I think it's going to be a little while until you have more games that you say like, oh, I absolutely need to upgrade. Now, she likes the Pokemon games. And we did talk about how they'll run better on Switch 2. And she said she would definitely play them again on Switch 2.
Dude,
so I was like, there is a value there. I said there's a value there for things just running better. But I said in terms of new games that you're missing out on, you can absolutely wait, in my opinion, until there's more stuff on the market they actually want. I don't think you're super missing out unless you were just like itching to play Mario Kart right this minute, or just really excited to get the performance enhancements on some of these other games.
Yeah. Gene, man, how do you feel about the launch lineup right now? You think it's a little lackluster?
I don't really vibe with the idea that this is a lackluster launch. I feel like the only people who are saying that are people who want to play Zelda or Mario. That's it,
Sure.
Because I don't understand how, and we said this last week, and a listener wrote that in. And if Mario Kart is not your thing, then I totally understand why it is a lackluster launch. But objectively speaking, this is the sequel to the 5th best-selling video game of all time in human history, and they launched with it. I don't understand how you can look at that and say, "Oh, this is a lackluster launch." They launched with probably the best possible game, and they're like, "Oh, well, Zelda and Mario 64 though," and it's like Mario Kart 8 sold more than both of them. It sold twice as much as Breath of the Wild did, right? More than twice as much. So if you want to say, "Oh, Mario Kart's not just for me," understand that you are in the minority compared to people saying Zelda is not for me. Zelda's not for Micah, Zelda isn't for most people compared to Mario Kart. Mario Kart is the broadest possible IP they can launch with. So I thought it was smart that they had Mario Kart World ready for launch, and that's about all I can say.
Sure.
Yeah. If you want to say, "Oh, it's not a game changing game," then sure, I guess that's really hard to tell right now. Although, I mean, we can go back and forth on the quality of Mario Kart World, which I don't know if I can qualify to say that because I haven't played it that much. But I totally get that. It's not going to be like it probably won't be a Breath of Wild like industry.
No.
Thing,
yeah.
No, like my main thing is I agree with you that it's a smart move. It's obviously one of their number one selling games. Like obviously, like it's a very smart move to have it at launch. But I think it would have been 10 times smarter to have Donkey Kong alongside it. Like, it's just one of those things like, this is the game. It's just one of those, like, I mean, you couldn't have given us 3 options. Like, it really is. It's like, and here it is. This is, and you get the Bravely Default remaster as a launch title. I mean, it's just like, it would have been better in my opinion, if we could have at least had like a couple more choices right at launch versus like, no, this is the one. This is it.
Well, here's the thing though, like Donkey Kong is coming out next month, right? So it's like it's within the launch window. Like I
just on launch day, like you go to Target to pick up your console and it's like, Mario Kart or nothing. And it's like kind of sucks. Because I originally had nothing until that listener sent me Mario Kart. I wasn't gonna buy it.
Hey, you can get Yakuza 0 director's cut, Mike. Okay.
Yeah, you could exactly. That's what I'm. That's the thing. It's like from Nintendo itself, it's not an ideal launch lineup.
Yeah. Rune Factory. Sense. You can get Rune Factory. Dustin actually bought that. You can get Rune Factory.
Is he liking it?
Yeah, he said it's a little switchy though. He said there's a little bit of stank. Just a little bit. just a tad.
Yeah, I do get wanting Donkey Kong Country or Donkey Kong Bonanza at the same time. But what I believe Nintendo is doing is that they are just spacing out the release.
Gene reminds me of
Donkey Kong Bonanza
GameCube.
could be released right now easily.
Yeah.
The game's done.
I wish they had.
Yeah,
the game is done. Well, because they feel like they could sell more if they sell it later.
Yeah. It reminds me of GameCube, Gene. How they like Smash came out like a month later or something, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you would have launched with Smash, which ended up being one of the best games for GameCube ever, right? But they don't want to do that. They want to space it out so you can be excited in next month. And that's why the meme of Switch has no games doesn't exist. Because Nintendo is always pumping out games every 2 months or whatever, and I think they want to continue that cadence with the Switch too.
Yeah. I understand if people aren't like you're saying, if Mario Kart's not really their jam and they're like, they want first party, they might be out of luck, but I think it's a pretty decent launch, honestly.
I'm glad Bonanza is not released right now. I'm so glad.
I mean, just because we have so much shit to play already.
There's so much to play right now. I'm so glad they waited a month.
Yeah, me too. For me. Yeah. But I understand the frustration.
But I totally get it. Yeah. I mean, obviously it'd be great if it was out right now,
Yeah. But don't sleep on those GameCube games, guys. If you haven't played them, check those games out. Those are fucking great GameCube games. Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX, man. Insanely good games.
Here are three of the best GameCube games ever.
They're so fucking good. So please check those out if you haven't played them. All right, this is from Beaver Diva. Wow. Hello, first time writing in. The battery on this thing is bordering on unacceptable. And given how many recharge cycles it's going to get, we could be looking at 1 hour long battery life in a few years. I think they need to patch into into the system some sort of power limit feature to let us play some of these games at a lower res or something, because this is terrible. Interested to hear your thoughts on whether it's something that would affect you. This is kind of something you talked about, Gene, wanting to be able to play games in 30 frames and stuff like that. They said lower res, and I think that's a cool idea. I totally understand that. What do you got? But I think they should do that. Gene, you kind of agree, I assume.
Pretty much, yeah. But I mean, at that point, we're turning the console into a PC, right? So
yeah. They want. I understand why they don't. They just want to keep it simplistic or whatever. Yeah. You pop it in, and it goes. But at least like one option or two would be nice. I think people
are at an interesting influx of the handheld space. The battery life was always even decent. The Switch 1 was already pushing the battery life to have that much technology as a handheld, and now with the Switch 2 always being at 120 frames per second or 60 frames per second versus the Steam Deck can be like Christ, I can play the Steam Deck for 7-8 hours depending on the game. That's incredible. Like I don't remember the last time I played a Switch 1 game for 7 hours like on handheld. So that's where the flexibility of the Steam game comes from. That's why Steam Deck. That's why it's like, I definitely, if you're a handheld mark, I definitely recommend like a Steam Deck, or I guess the Xbox Asus ROG Ally, which is a great name for anything. And a Switch 2 as well. If you're a Nintendo fan.
A little bit side tangent here. I did just feel this for the first time and put it together. I don't like the way it feels. So like I agree with you guys. It feels kind of weird.
It feels like shit.
Yeah, it does not feel good. It feels worse than I remember the Switch 1 feeling.
He's holding up the Joy-Con grip, by the way.
Yeah, the Joy-Con thing that you
it looks good. It looks like round and good,
Yeah.
It doesn't look as abrasive at a Switch 1, but like when you actually hold it, like wow, it actually feels just as abrasive at a Switch 1,
It kind of feels like doo-doo. Yeah,
because when I looked at it, I was like, oh, maybe I'll try it out, and I just tried it out. I was like, this was like shit. Sorry.
Nah. Yeah. No. That's okay. Never again.
Pro controller.
Yes. Yeah, Pro controller. I'm good to go.
Yep.
All right, guys, let's talk about Mario Kart World. Now, Mike, we're going to start with you because I think I don't know if you've played it the most, but you've played it actually now.
I might have.
You might have. So let's hear your thoughts. Especially, I find it's interesting because you weren't very excited about it. You weren't going to even get it.
No.
So what do you think about it right now that you've been playing it?
So I really like Knockout Tour. It's a ton of fun.
Super fun.
Yeah, I did play with a couple listeners from Discord, which is cool. It is the most excitement is when it's someone truly. Because playing with random people online is fun enough, but it's not as much fun as hitting someone with the red shell. It's just not. It just doesn't hit the same as, or them like blowing past you right at the finish line. You're like, curses, it's not the same when you don't know them. It's still fun. I've just been playing Knockout Tour primarily. I don't like the free roam at all. I don't know, dog. I don't get it. First of all, I don't enjoy time trials ever. So I'm not enjoying the P switches. Gotcha. And just driving around, it's just empty. And maybe I'm blind and I'm missing what I'm supposed to be doing. But aside from looking for the P switches, I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. I guess I could find the restaurants and get an outfit.
Yeah.
But I got Vampire Waluigi. I've only played as him. I haven't played as anyone else. But now I got the vampire outfit. I'm like, that's all I need, dog.
That's sick. I didn't know there's a vampire one. That's
he
rad.
Looks great. He does this super cool move if you hit a jump. He doesn't do it every time, but sometimes you hit a jump and he'll fully turn around and do a vampire type stance. It's awesome. So I don't need anybody else. He's the only one I've been playing as. I don't need more fucking outfits. I don't need nothing. I like the Roller Gator car or whatever it's called, Roller Gator. But yeah, the free roam's not doing it for me. I guess if you like time trials, you'll like it. But like Kirby in the Forgotten Land, my most hated thing was the time trials. I wanted to rip my own hair out. It was horrible. So I just don't go for that. So I'm not into free roam really, but it has been fun to play online. I find myself just like doing a round or two a knockout tour and then going into like whatever single player game I'm enjoying. The normal races, I don't know if knockout tour kind of ruined it. Now I'm just kind of like the laps, man. At first I was like, I don't really like the knockout tours, like these like straightaway sections and not really laps. And then I went back and I was like, I don't know about these laps now. Now I kind of like the like more straightforward, like the legs of each race versus doing multiple laps. So I don't know. The items are fun. I like this King Boo, the Boo item that, you know, steals items for other people, for example.
A classic, yeah.
Yeah, because it keeps you want to strategize and hold on to items, but you can't hold on to them too long. They might get stolen. I love that shit. So I'm having fun with it. More fun than I anticipated. But I will say, I'm so glad I didn't buy it because I don't like the free roam. And I know that's kind of supposed to be a big part of it. I don't like it, though. I'm really not feeling that at all.
How do you like, so I guess you have been doing knockout tour mostly, but do you like the kind of thing when you do like a Grand Prix of going from like track then racing all the way to the new track? Or do you prefer it if it was more like just track?
Yeah, well, of course I knew that was the case, but I still didn't really understand it, and I was very confused because like we all voted to play Mario Circuit, and then I was like, why the fuck are we at like Bowser's Factory? Like, what is this? Isn't Mario Circuit at all? And then the next time, like then like it literally has you vote again, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, Moo Moo Meadows, and then we're at Mario Circuit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then I realized like this is the driving between.
Yeah, you got to drive between,
But it's because, and I knew that was a thing. But because it had you just vote for it, I was like, I don't know, man, we just voted for Mario Circuit. Why the fuck are we here? So now I understand it, obviously. I don't really like it. I just let me play the fucking race, dude. I voted for Moo Moo Meadows. I want a Moo Moo Meadow, all right?
Yeah,
like,
well, you get your Moo Moo Meadow. You just got to get there.
No, like fucking sort it out to everyone playing Mario Kart World. They never vote for Moo Moo Meadows.
Hey,
I vote for it
show.
Every time. They won't vote for it. And it's driving me crazy. Everybody loves the cow, but they won't play his race.
Oh, I played Moo Moo Meadows. They didn't vote for it?
Nobody votes for it, Brad. Nobody. Like, every time I vote for it, every time it comes up.
I've noticed that too. I've actually noticed the few races I'm going, I'm like, why are we not all universally going for Moo Moo Meadows?
You know? Like, it's my favorite Wii course. Yeah. And nobody votes for it when I'm on. And I'm like, this is bullshit. Okay? So I can't stand it. I can't. Thank God it's not a popular vote, because it does the thing where like it rotates around until it lands on one. If it was popular vote, I would literally never have a shot in hell of playing it. But I still am just like, dude, like, how are we not all playing Moo Moo Meadows? This is absurd. Get some taste. Everyone's like, oh, I'll play Wario Stadium. It's excellent. But I'm not saying it's not. But like Moo Moo Meadows.
Yeah, I get it.
All playing as the cow.
Yeah.
And yet you won't bring him home. It makes no sense.
Mike, I'm curious. Could we get some thoughts about the Nintendo's graduates' thoughts on Mario Kart? Did he see it?
Oh yeah, I mean, he said it looked fine. I think he keeps asking me if I've won yet, and I was first of all, I was like, I don't think I'm ever gonna win. Yeah. I won against like one of the Discord matches. I won one of those, and then I lost many more, but. The best I've done in online knockout tours come in second. And I was like, literally though, that dude was still like 6 seconds ahead of me. Damn. I said, I don't know how to beat these savants online. But that's the biggest thing is he just keeps asking me every day, have you won yet? And I was like, I don't think I'm going to. Like, you know, like this isn't Fortnite where I actually did win several times. It's like, I don't think I'm going to ever win knockout tour unless I log on during preschool play hour. And because I definitely noticed like the time that I came in second, I was like, these kids suck. You know, like I definitely was playing with the elementary schoolers at that time. And then later on, when I did like horrible, I'm like, these are adults. I'm playing against adults right now. So, he seemed uninterested, but he said it looked nice. You know, he said it looked great. And I like the music a lot.
Yeah, great music in the game.
Soundtrack's good.
Mm-hmm.
I loved hearing all those familiar sound effects again when you pick up an item that, I don't know, lottery, whatever. Yeah, whatever you would describe that slot machine-ish type of noise as. I love that. It's familiar and fun to have it back. Yeah. But I'll admit that the things they did to freshen it up, I don't love it.
You're not a fan of, okay.
I don't like the freshened up version. It's like okay, you know what? Smart Balance. A couple years ago, Smart Balance buttery spread, my favorite non-dairy buttery spread, changed the recipe. And the people revolted. They did not change it back. They said they would. They never did.
Wow.
That's kind of how I feel. It's like, I just wanted the old Smart Balance. I know you had to change it, but I didn't want you to.
Yeah.
And I would rather have old Smart Balance back. The Smart Balance low sodium whipped was incredible. It was the best non-dairy butter substitute you could buy.
Yeah. Okay. Micah, you got to play with us. I streamed it and we had a full lobby of viewers and everything. And Gene was in there and Dustin. It was so fun. We got to get you in there when we play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you let me know when. And because I will say it's pretty easy to join your friends.
It's really easy to set up a lobby. I was surprised. I was like, wow.
Well, and even if you don't set up an official room, for example, like I was playing last night and it said, John is online. And I was like, oh. And so I just went to the friends tab and his lobby had like 22 out of 24 players. I just joined. Like that just let me right in. He didn't actually have to like make a room for friends to play in. That's like the easiest to get like all your friends together. Mm-hmm. But it's like, yeah, there was empty spaces in his racing group. So I just joined. And that was easy and worked really well. So there are some hiccups. I don't know if it's just because like some people are set to like appearing offline, for example, where it's like it'll say someone's online and then they're not showing up in your friends tab.
Yeah.
But it is easy to just be like, oh, his lobby has an empty spot, so I'll just join right in.
Yeah, cool. All right, Gene, you've played a little bit. Well, you got to play at New York before it came out actually for a little while, and we played together for a little bit. How are you feeling about Mario Kart so far?
Yeah, I feel like my impressions are not as updated as much because I honestly have played the most Mario Kart in New York City.
Yeah.
Versus at home. I barely played it. Really, the only time I played it was with you. And I played a few matches with Fidel, Games Cage, popular Nintendo streamer. So I hopped on a few games with him. Really fun, Knockout Tour. As I said, and everyone is saying, Knockout Tour is the crown jewel of the game. It's
it is.
Fun.
Yeah,
it's different. It's chaotic.
It's high stakes, higher stakes.
High stakes. Yeah, you lose a lot. So you see people not ever making it even to the last round. It's like, yeah, it's tough. It's very chaotic, and you can go from number 1 to number 22 real fast.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so if that happens to you, do not feel bad. That happens to pretty much everyone in the game. It seems like people who have been playing Mario Kart for years. They're like, I was 3rd place, and now I'm just like 16th, and I'm out.
It happens in an instant.
Yeah, the game just killed me. I'm just done. It's crazy. So like it really goes to show like how crazy the balance is. What else? I totally see what Micah and like all the other people are saying about how empty the open world is, and I've kind of like said as much, like even during the previews, like why it doesn't feel like there's a lot going on in the open world. This is not going to be like a Find 900 Moons type of like type beat or whatever, like Mario Odyssey or finding all the Korok seeds or whatever like that. Instead, it's all to find the P switches. And if you're not in the mood for like time trials or like here do this perfectly or whatever, then it's going to be tough. Part of the reason why I'm frustrated with not playing the game is because I actually want to vibe out in the open world. Like I actually just want to discover new outfits that way, not by playing the races, but just like walking around, just driving around and just enjoying the music and the world, and just like people keep making fun of those Twitter accounts that are just showing the bouncing around of the Mario Karts and like bouncing along to like different music or whatever like that. That's all I want to do, man.
Yeah.
I don't need a goal. I don't need the game to make a goal for me. I just want to like drive around in the Mario Kart world and just like listen to the music and just like look at cute animals and look at the cute art. That's all I need. And I understand that's not what a lot of other people need. I totally get that. And if that knocks points down for you, that's absolutely fair, because there isn't much to do. Honestly, I wish there was more to do.
Yeah.
But my dream Mario Kart world is that you can just actually you can just walk around, like get out of the Mario Kart and just like walk in the Mario Kart world, and just turn into Death Stranding. Which I guess I'll talk about it for a little bit later. But yeah, I would love a Mario Strand type game. So I do wish that they innovated a little bit more in terms of what you can do in open world. It lacks innovation. I completely like that's probably the harshest criticism I can say, that it's not that innovative to just have a world to drive around in.
Yeah. Here, let me read this from Derek Beek. Now that we've all had some time with Switch 2, and I'm assuming Mario Kart World, what do you think of the free roam section of the game? I'm a big fan of open world racing games like Need for Speed and Forza Horizon, and compared to those, it feels incredibly lacking, like a placeholder that wasn't yet filled out. It's kind of shocking how barren and lifeless it all feels compared to other games in the genre.
So here's my take on it. The racetracks are designed super well. Like when you're racing on them, they're super good. And I love the intermission. Like a lot of people were like worried about like, oh my God, like you have to race between the tracks. I love the intermission tracks. I love that after like a really tight race of like looping around and like all these crazy turns. Here, the next track is try to beat them on this fucking San Francisco bridge or whatever like that, or go down Route 66, like a Route 66 or whatever like that. I love that stuff. And those are the opportunities to like have like real battles. And I think that's where Knockout Tour kind of had like some of the real like, crash outs, quote unquote, in Knockout Tour happen, is that, those intermission areas allow for so much battles and variability to happen between the races, because it's just all very flat, and there's like other cars like on the road. So I think they really prioritize designing the open world to serve the actual races, which is why it's very clear that the open world itself feels like an afterthought, because I think they focus on designing the racetracks first and making them interesting in how they connect as races.
Yeah.
And you look at Knockout Tour, like it's hidden in the menu screen, it's not part of single player, multiplayer, online, none of that, you just have to press start and you're in the free roam. And that's like, I think that signals to the player, oh, this is not the important part of the game. The important part of the game is still the racing part, So yeah, I don't think we're meant to vibe out that much, other than it's an interesting like location. But again, I totally get it that it's definitely not Forza Horizon. It is too bad that they couldn't look at Forza Horizon and wonder like, okay, well, what else can we do in this world to fill it up and make people enjoy spending, have more activities for them to do in this world. And Forza does that, and this game doesn't. Not really.
Yeah. Because one thing, Gene, while you're speaking, that I thought of when you're talking about like the chaos, okay? Because that's the number one word that comes to mind for me thinking of like Mario Kart is chaotic, and like the high energy. And it does just, I think actually my biggest problem with free roam is that it's too peaceful. And it's maybe not, maybe they intended it to be a nice peaceful break between the races, and you go around looking for P-switches and looking for the restaurant, and you're supposed to just vibe out. But it feels incredibly, like tremendously slow by comparison after these high energy, chaotic races that you go through. And it just feels boring to me. So it's like maybe they intended it to be this relaxing, peaceful thing, but it's like too far that direction. Because even just driving around for a good bit, because I tried to give it a chance, and I found like maybe 3 or 4 of the P-switch activities, but they seemed pretty far spread out. And again, like you're supposed to look for them. They aren't always like especially obvious, I know they want you to kind of like go off the beaten trail or whatever, but I feel like they could have just made the density of those way higher, or given you like trick opportunities, like more, like give me a reward for like, oh, okay, like I drove off this ramp, did a trick. I don't know, give me a coin or something. I don't know, man. Like it just feels too peaceful. in the contrast of I just played Knockout Tour and feel like my hair is like blown back, okay, and then like I start this, and it's just boring.
Mm-hmm. So I've played a little bit. I haven't played a ton of the open world. I kind of agree with you guys. What I have played it is super barren. I have been enjoying just kind of going around the world and seeing everything because I think it looks really cool and I love seeing all the stuff. My biggest one thing I'm really happy with the game so far is the new like tech they've added for like movement, like the jump now you can do to do wall rides and all that kind of stuff and grinding rails. I think is really cool. And I've seen some really insane stuff that people are doing online, and that makes me very excited. Like, it feels like the cap is higher now for Mario Kart, so that's really cool for me. And like, just all these crazy secrets and shortcuts that people are figuring out. That's all really fun stuff to me, and I love that kind of stuff. And we'll see more of that as the game is out and people play it more. So I'm very excited to dive more into that stuff. I do like the higher player count. I enjoy the chaos of it. I embrace it. The tracks do accommodate for it. They are wider and stuff like that. Some of the maps are really good. Like Rainbow Road is so rad in this game. I love Rainbow Road in this game. It's really good. I love the Donkey Kong City with like the robot gorilla throwing the barrels at you. That's good shit. So I definitely need to play alone.
Rainbow Road was amazing. I couldn't believe it. I felt like I was so high playing it. It reminded me of Kingdom Hearts a little bit, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was really going into like a different space, and it felt really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm enjoying the game so far. I do need to play a lot more. I'm just scratching the surface, and
Same here.
I have so many characters unlocked. I do think it's annoying how when you unlock an outfit for a character, it's like a separate character select.
Dude, the UI sucks, man.
Yeah, it's bad. Like, why can't you just pick Mario, then pick like between the outfits or something like that?
It's
I don't
crazy.
Get it.
Like, why does Pro Racer Mario have to be a completely different Mario?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get how they couldn't it's another like instance of like Nintendo like not looking at other video games, you know, like I have no doubt that they have no idea what a Forza Horizon is, you know, or Need for Speed or whatever like that, you know, and I doubt that they even know what Street Fighter 2 is, you know, where you can choose different outfits with one character.
It's weird.
And they're like, nah, we don't need that. Each costume is a different character. That's it's like, I don't get it. It just makes the character roster look so bloated, you know. And it's annoying to scroll through. So
yeah, it is. I do like the vehicles transforming, like when you go on water, transforms in like a jet ski kind of thing. I think that's cool. Really fun.
Yeah, the water effects are really good.
Yeah, reminds me of wave racing, like Diddy Kong Racing. So all that stuff's cool.
Absolutely gives me like good wave race. I mean, the great thing about Mario Kart is that it feels like it's every other racing game, you know, like it's doing everything other racing games can do it, but you know, cooler or Mario, you know.
Yeah. So but yeah, we got to play a lot more. At least me and Gene, we got to play a ton more to get a good feel of it. So we will in the future. Yeah,
I probably play like maybe like only 2 hours of it total,
yeah, I played what I did on stream in like 20 minutes extra. So
yeah,
I need to play more. All right, Gene, I played this. You've played this. Welcome Tour. Let's talk about it, dude.
I have not played much of it. So.
Oh, but you did play in the past.
I played it at the New York event. I have it. And you know, Nintendo didn't give me a code for it, so I actually bought it for $10.
I bought it. $10.
Which sucks. Nintendo actually did send me a code for it, but like days later, I'm like, I feel so stupid because I didn't even have time to play Welcome Tour. Yeah. And if I just waited like I did, then I would have just gotten it for free. But
yeah. Whatever. Welcome Tour is okay. I still think it should be free. There's some cool stuff in there. Like some of the games are fun. Like the mouse one I liked where you have to like dodge like falling spikes or something like that. I just think it's fun. They're like very basic, goofy games, and they can be fun. I could see like kids really enjoying it and getting hooked on this for a while. Just a lot of games. I think it's very bizarre, and Nintendo like to make you walk around on the Switch too and collect these stamps that are kind of hidden throughout it to unlock more games. So I'm just like, come on, dude. Like, why are we doing this kind of thing like that? Just so you can tell me about the A button. But some of the games are cool, like the frame rate one. We need Micah to play the frame rate one.
I'm not buying this shit. I gotta be honest with you, dog. I'm not buying this.
All right, listeners, send it to Micah. $10.
No. Like because is it true that you have to like have the camera to see like all
to do
the
everything?
demos?
You need to have like.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what all the
no.
peripherals you need, but yeah, it is. It's weird. Like I don't have the camera, but you can use any USB camera, which is good and very un-Nintendo-like, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's goofy to just kind of mess around in, but I still, and I'm not like I've had fun with some of the games, but I still think it should be free. There's this really cool one where you like do the vibration on the controller, and you have to like you move it around like the mouse, and wherever it vibrates the most is where you got to like pinpoint it. And it's
I love
like
that game.
Yeah, that one's really sick. I've enjoyed that one a lot. But yeah, I don't know.
There's laughing because it sounds like, so stupid and simple, but like
it is stupid and simple, but it's cool.
1-2 switch. I'm laughing because I loved 1-2 switch. When people were down on that, I'm like, yeah, but you got to roll around the marbles, and it tells you how you got to guess how many marbles are in the Joy-Con.
Wasn't 1-2 switch like full price though?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
I mean that was like a full ass game, but like in these are different. These are different things. But
that's why Welcome Tour is actually a full ass game, but it's single player 1-2 switch basically. You know.
So. Yeah.
And that kind of I think that's where the appeal is largely lost. 1-2 switch in its goofiness, you're playing with like a friend, and it just adds to it. And I genuinely loved some of those 1-2 switch mini games, but it's like having your friends play with you was half the fun.
So I would call him test him if you actually.
Oh, that's not happening.
Tell him if he actually thinks. Test him if he actually can see whether things are 60 frames per second. He's still fairly new at that, so you know.
Yeah. Dustin fucked up on the 60 and the 120 frames one.
Oh.
And he was like, fuck. Yeah.
That's tricky. See, there you go.
It was so funny. Dustin was like looking at the games we were testing on. He's getting extremely close to like the monitor to look at all the pixels and stuff like that. I was like, there's our Digital Foundry guy.
There you go. Yeah. And but it's tricky. I imagine Dustin got mad when he got that wrong.
He did.
So there you go.
He's like, I'm a fraud. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. There you go.
But yeah, Welcome Tour. Kind of interesting. I still think it should be free, but you know.
I love it, but I still think it should be free. So I don't dispute that at all.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's talk about just kind of everything else we've been playing. We'll start with stuff we've been playing on the Switch 2 first. I tested out a bunch of games to see how they ran.
Yeah, what did you test, man?
I tested Tears of the Kingdom right away. Holy shit. Night and day difference. Wow, it's incredible how much better it is. I can never go back now. I can never go back. It looks great, runs amazing. It's so good. Micah, you're going to have like the best experience. It's great. I mean, you won't have the context of the old thing, but it runs great now, actually.
I could play it on the Switch Lite.
I know you don't need it. It's okay. It's fine. Just take our word for it.
The angry Patreon comments incoming.
I tested Echoes of Wisdom. Seemed good.
Beautiful.
I didn't see any frame drops, nothing like that. Micah wouldn't even be able to tell the difference, though.
Yeah, so she was beautiful in the first place. Like I understand people are like, now it's got like a nose job, so it's better. But I thought it was pretty all along.
I know it got some like tit implants. That's what it got. That's what it got.
Well, because it looks rounder, like like it really does look like the game has like a diorama look, right? So it actually looks like way more 3D. Like
yeah.
It really does feel like I'm like Zelda 3D Zelda model is walking around on screen, which is exactly the case,
Yes. We did Super Mario Odyssey. Looks great. Looks really good, actually.
Looks really good. Yeah,
really
the resolution is crazy. I booted up Odyssey on the regular Switch just to tell. So much aliasing on the original one, for sure. Way lower resolution.
Especially if you're going to play
on Switch too.
Yeah, especially if you're going to play like on a big TV and stuff like that. It's going to make a huge difference. So that's great. 3D World, we booted up, looked much better. Pokemon was so much better. It's crazy. I mean, like the textures are still the textures still suck, but yeah, like everything else, the frame rate, the resolution, the draw distance is better. I think too. Like that, they have added more Pokemon there. It's crazy. It's like what the game should have been. Honestly, what I wish it was when it came out.
Really, I don't understand why it didn't run better.
It was so much better, dude.
Crap textures, and you see Game Freak come out with like a game on Xbox or something.
Their new game coming out.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? It hasn't been Nintendo. That's just been like holding them down, I guess.
I think there's a question about that later on in the show. I'm pretty sure someone asked that same thing because it did look good. Their game.
it looks not bad. Like it still had stutters, so
Yeah, of course. But I'm trying to think if I played anything else. I played everything. I think a lot of stuff that had patches actually. I know I haven't played Bayonetta 3, but apparently it runs at 60 now, locked.
It sure
or
does.
Close to it.
I played a ton of games, so just let me know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Gene, what did you play? Give some of your thoughts.
So I actually just booted up Super Mario RPG just now.
Okay.
Which didn't run well in the Switch One.
Oh, really? It didn't? That's depressing.
It was fine. Yeah. No, it was fine.
It was fine. It's fine. But it runs it runs 60 FPS now.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, that's been updated. I just tried Super Mario World 3D. That looks great too. Super Mario Wonder looks good. I mean, look down my Switch right here. So obviously, we're already talking about Zelda, Cyberpunk. We can talk about deeper too. But I actually haven't played that much.
Okay. Is it like the best handheld version though now?
Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. Maybe like not on like the Mega ROG Ally or whatever, Legion, Lenovo, Go, blah blah blah. You know, like maybe if you like throw some mods on there, then yeah, it could look better. But just at a base level, it definitely looks better than the Steam Deck.
Sure.
I played Cyberpunk all the way through on Steam Deck.
Oh wow,
no problem, and it was fine for me. But Cyberpunk looks way better on the Switch too.
All right.
I tried all the Xenoblade Chronicles games, of course.
Yeah.
None of them have been updated to 60 frames per second or resolutions, but they all hit their 30 frames per second cap nicely.
Okay, that's something.
It's something. Xenoblade 2 ran like trash, and that's a 2017 game. It was within the launch window, like I said, of the Switch One. And that's why it sold so well, because it was like the only JRPG on the Switch One for a while, like the only big one. And that runs still at a low resolution because that was capped at like 800p or something like that, like really low. But it runs, nice and clippy at 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
Xenoblade X, which just came out a couple months ago, and was a massive world. That one like stuttered quite a bit. But booting up on the Switch too, and I remember I'm fresh off that game. I played 270 hours of that game, so I know what the performance looks like. Way better. Just locked 30 frames per second, like no stutters whatsoever. Now, really good stuff. Crisis.
Oh, Crisis! That's really funny.
I had to try Crisis on this one.
Yeah, of course.
Crisis was capped at 30 frames per second, so that's what it's running now. So it looks pretty good because Crisis on the Switch One regular, like when you see the buildings like blow up or whatever, like when Crisis is a very physics heavy game, Micah. Like it was one of the first games where like you can drive a car through a house and the house will like fall apart. Like not a lot of games still do that today, even so. The old joke is like, oh, can your PC run Crisis? Because it was like so heavy on the CPU, and that was always a good barometer for whether the console was good. So once I started like having all the mayhem happen in Crisis, like all the different cars like crashing into buildings and explosions, like it was like running 30 frames per second. Great. On the Switch One, it was like it was rough on the Switch One. Like you can barely tell what was going on, But it runs 30 frames per second. Yakuza Kiwami 1.
Oh.
Remember, I played that one. Yeah. Still jaggy as hell, but it runs at 30 frames per second. Nier Automata, that was also capped at 30 frames per second. Runs real smoothly, but it always ran really smoothly on the Switch One as well.
Did it get like I guess it didn't get a resolution bump.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
Okay.
It didn't do anything. Hyrule Warriors.
The first one, like not Age of Calamity.
The first one and the second one. The second one, Age of Calamity, is capped at 30 frames per second, and now it finally hits that.
Okay, good. Yeah, that game was painful to play through.
Like regularly, I still see some drops here and there, but it's probably just because the game hasn't been updated or patched or optimized really all that well. But like, it's not a slideshow anymore. Hyrule Warriors Original Deluxe Edition, the Definitive Edition. This is a Wii U game. Mind you, and it runs at 60 frames per second. Like I couldn't believe how like this is the first time we've seen Hyrule Warriors like run this good. It's crazy. Yeah. Sonic Frontiers capped at 30 frames per second, so it stays there. It's kind of a bummer that Sonic Cross Shadow Generations is just a new version of the game. Like if you have the old Switch One version, you're fucked. Like I hope you like 30 frames per second, because if you want 60 frames per second, you have to buy it all over again, which is
full price.
Which sucks, man. That's not a good practice. I don't like that at all. Not even a $10 upgrade. That sucks.
Right.
And it should be free. Like, look at Hyrule Warriors, just a free boost.
Mm-hmm.
House of the Dead remake. That one was real choppy on the Switch 1. A lot of blood and guts and bullets flying on the screen. Runs 60 frames per second now.
Mm-hmm.
Runs real nice. I'm going down my whole game list right here too. So all the games that I tried. Resident Evil 1 remake.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever try this on the Switch 1, dude?
No.
So it's like I beat it, and I got like the infinite rocket launcher and all that stuff. The problem with the Resident Evil 1 remake, the GameCube version on the Switch 1, is that it had atrocious loading times, dude. You know how in Resident Evil 1, like when you go through the door, like that loading screen is always there, right? That's part of the game design, right? Where you walk through a door really slowly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with the Switch 1 version is that there was extra loading time after that, and you see like these blood splatters like down the bottom of the screen to show that the game is still loading, and you're just like, what the fuck? This is a fucking GameCube game,
Yeah.
And that didn't show up anywhere in the PS4 or PC versions at all. So that was one of the first games I wanted to try on the Switch too. Sure enough, those little blood splatters are gone. It just loads like a regular ass Resident Evil 1 remake game, like it did on the GameCube.
Yeah,
it literally loaded better on the GameCube than it does on the Switch one. I couldn't believe it.
That's so funny, dude.
That was fixed. Princess Peach Showtime. Micah had no problems with that game's performance. But I thought the game's performance was...
I had problems with it.
Oh, okay, there you go.
That's the one I didn't buy because the load times were so slow on the demo. Right. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is actually crazy that the load times are this bad.
The loading times are fixed now. They're good.
Excellent.
And it runs at 30 frames per second. So there's that. It was locked at 30 frames. So surprisingly, I'm surprised that it doesn't go to 60. So it does that. Astral Chain looks really good, 30 frames per second there. Bayonetta 3 is transformative, man. Like, there's so much going on. Like Bayonetta 3, she summons like these monster versions of herself. So like you're not only controlling Bayonetta, but like a Godzilla version of her like fighting in the background. All that runs super smooth. It's so crazy. Like, it's clear that Bayonetta 3 was designed for a much more powerful console than the Switch 1. And Bayonetta 3 was the first game where I was like, oh, the Switch 1 is stinky. It took a long time, but I was like, oh, this is not good. This game is not ready for this system. And finally, we have a console that helps it out. So I might actually play that dog shit game again. I fucking hated Bayonetta 3. I hated the story. The story was so ass.
Yeah, the story sucks.
The story was terrible, and it has nothing to do with Bayonetta not being a lesbian anymore or whatever. Like the story was just complete fucking ass. But I might play it again because the gameplay was not bad, and maybe I'll give it a shot.
Fun gameplay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just sort of a full replay. That could be fun. Yeah, and Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom, both 60 FPS, like they pop so nicely. Like it really feels like you're in like a diorama world there. And I think that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all the games I played pretty much. Kirby Forgotten Land, still waiting for the update on that. So that's still 30 frames per second. Is it actually? I didn't boot it up, so I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a bunch of games that I still want to try. Mario Rabbids, I haven't tried that yet. Kirby Forgotten Land. Witcher 3, I tried it for a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Micah, you play Witcher, right? You love The Witcher.
Oh, I love Witcher. Yeah, I've only played it on Xbox.
Yeah. It runs nicely now, and it actually looks like up-res actually a little bit. I think I don't know if CDPR fixed it, but I saw some CDPR developers like touting it as like good now, And when I booted it up, I was like, oh, this actually looks like legible and like pretty good, I always thought I actually played through the whole game like on the Switch 1, but it was pretty pixelated. And now it just looks like it's operating at the highest possible resolution of 720p and not doing too bad. So
yeah.
Final Fantasy 12, like that was still 30 frames per second. So
yeah.
Anything, yeah, I definitely tried like Dark Souls 1, like that's still 30 frames per second, but it just locked like perfectly now. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's a ton of games.
Cool.
Other Switch 2 games I have now, I just got a bunch of codes for them. So I have Bravely Default Flying Fairy.
Oh.
I have Deltarune, and I have Hitman World of Assassination, and I'm looking forward to playing all of those. And the Sonic and Shadow generation is like the new version that I'm complaining about that people have to buy. I have it for free, thankfully. But no, I haven't tried that yet. Kunitsugami, I haven't tried that yet. I might actually finally try that game. I hear that game is awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, yeah, that's a Colin game. He liked that one a lot.
Oh yeah, Colin liked that one. Yeah, that's right. Cog was like talking it up like big time, and the way he described it like was really cool. So I'm really excited to try to dive that in here. And Puyo Puyo Tetris, I have that as well. I love Puyo Puyo and Tetris. So yeah, and Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. That's right. Like I got that here too, and that runs like a regular ass Yakuza game on PC and PS4. Like. I started this up and I started playing it. I was like, dog, I'm not fucking playing Yakuza 0 again, man. Like, I can't right now. I'm definitely like RGG'd out. Like,
yeah.
Like I definitely hit the point where, you know, people make fun of me for playing 700 hours of Yakuza games, and I totally get that. Definitely hit that peak right now. So I think I need a little vacation from Yakuza and, you know, go off to Hawaii for a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
No, Gene, you're like me. When I was in high school, I was obsessed with peanut butter and fluff sandwiches. I mean, it's just a classic. Who doesn't love that? But I brought them to school like every day for lunch for the entire year. And then I was like, I don't want to eat this for a long time.
Yeah. Any other games you guys want to talk about before we move on? We'll just combine what we're playing segment into all this stuff.
Pretty much. Go ahead, Micah. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Nintendo Switch Online. I mean, it loads wicked fast, everything. I think it was pretty snappy on Switch 1 anyways, but getting into Nintendo Switch Online and starting up games, they're quick, they're fast, they look great. I should test Kingdom Come Deliverance to see if
that's a good one
has
to test,
any change or not. I mean, it's still going to look like ass. But I wonder if the loading time, like Kingdom Come Deliverance on Switch 1 took like a full 60 seconds just to open the game. It was insanely slow. Load times, if you saved and quit and rebooted the game, like it was atrocious. I do wonder if that's gotten any better, and maybe I'll test that out and report back, because I'd be curious if that's improved at all. But I was primarily playing Mario Kart World and then just Nintendo Switch Online. And I mean, the eShop's maybe the biggest improvement, not a game, but man.
Yeah, it is
tremendous. There were times I wanted to go into the eShop and I would avoid it previously. So I was like, I just don't feel like dealing with this. All right. And now it's a problem. Now it actually just opens.
Yeah, it was a bummer, man. It was like, I'm really glad to see the developers, like they were like, oh dude, that was our biggest like thing too.
It was like the PS3 store. Like I didn't want to do it with
the PS3 store is rough too. It's even worse now because it's falling apart, but
yeah.
It's the Wii U store was awful. It's weird that the Wii shop from the original Wii was probably the smoothest.
You're right.
Like, why did they get it right on the shitty ass Wii, and then like they've been shit in the bed this whole time?
It's because of the music. They had good music. That's why.
Yeah, was it just the music that just like, oh, I don't mind waiting.
You can hear this sick tune. Yeah,
I love this shit. You know, like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Man, I missed that.
If you turn off the music, it was actually horrible.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. The eShop had no music, and it's like, oh, I'm being faced with the existential realities of my life right now. You know.
Exactly. Because so one thing Colin and I like to do together is he'll just browse the PlayStation store. And we'll click on like funny games and like all like the horrible like hentai games and shit, and like we'll watch the funny trailers. But it really is like you couldn't even do that on Switch 1 because it took so long to load and it would like freeze. Yeah. I do just want to. Half of the reason why I don't own many of like the digital exclusive games is because I never opened that eShop to see what horrors awaited me there. And the reality is that now I actually will browse the store sometime and see what's on sale. I don't mind picking up digital titles that don't have physical versions. That eShop, though, was so ass. Yeah. I only would use it to redeem codes for things I already purchased. Or like for the rare game that someone told me about, and I'd be like, all right, I'll go buy it. But now you can actually browse it. Now you can actually look through all the games, and it doesn't take 20 minutes. So I maybe will start buying a couple more like smaller digital titles because it's possible now. It's not so horrible to just window shop.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how envious I was to watch Colin just leisurely scrolling through the PlayStation store, and meanwhile just opening the eShop is like, you gotta it's like that picture of Ben Affleck like smoking outside. Like that's how I felt every time I was like, I gotta open the eShop. Like it sucks in there. It's like going to Walmart. Like it sucks in there. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Now I don't mind. Now it's Target.
Yeah. All right. Any other games you guys want to talk about, or should we move on?
I'm just playing a lot of Death Stranding too.
Can't say anything about it though. But yeah,
I can't talk about it much. But you attended the premiere event, right?
I did attend the premiere event.
You want to talk about that? How was it like?
Yeah, sure. Me and Dustin went to that
Kojima live event at the Orpheum Theater in LA as riots were going on.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. Me and Dustin, we had like an hour, like some time to kill before the event. And we're like, oh, let's go to Little Tokyo. It's pretty close. We're going over there. And it was right into all the riots and protests. And I was like, we were both like, nah, we're getting out of here immediately. So I had to like drive through some. It was a pain in the ass, dude. But it's crazy. There's like graffiti everywhere. People going ape shit in the street. I was like, no, just getting out of here.
People love the Summer Game Fest, you know?
Yeah. Dude, Keely had tight security at Summer Game Fest. Lots of security there. So he was keeping us safe. Thanks, Keely. Appreciate that.
It was just for Kojima though. Like they could have bum rushed anyone, and he would have been like, "Hold, you only are dispatched if they approach Kojima."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this Death Stranding event I went to with Dustin. Kojima was there. A couple of people from the game, like Troy Baker was there, Wood Kid who did the soundtrack, and the Japanese girl. I forgot her name. She's a new character in it, but she was there.
Rainy in the game.
Yeah, Rainy's her name. Mm-hmm. It was really funny. Kojima was saying he wanted a Japanese woman in the game, and he was saying it was hard to animate Asian people, and me and Dustin started laughing at that. It was really funny.
Kojima really said that? That's
I did. Funny, it was sick, dude.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it was awesome. But we watched it, and it was cool. They showed like the first like gameplay demo of the game, I suppose, and it was the very beginning of the game. I won't really talk much about it because I know people are very sensitive about kind of that stuff. But
you know what? People always make fun of me for spoilers. Sorry to interrupt, Brad. But before we go any further, as somebody who's playing Death Stranding 2, if you have not seen any trailers for Death Stranding 2, I recommend you keep it that way. Yeah. Just don't watch anything. Definitely don't watch this preview footage that just happened on Sunday that Brad was talking about. Mm-hmm. But I would recommend just like, if you're a fan of Death Stranding, just go into the gameplay.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I just went because we're like, well, what's going on? We're kind of near it anyways. Kojima's there. Well, sure, we'll check it out. They showed that. They showed some like, they had a live stage demo. Like someone was actually playing it live. So it was cool to see that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, his hands were shaking as he was playing.
Yeah, he was nervous, but like, how could he not be? Kojima was like making fun of him and shit like that, dude.
I know, dude. What the fuck, man? He's like, yeah, my guy's not doing too well, I guess.
Yeah, being brutal, dude.
Cheer him on. I was like, dude, just give him a break, man.
Give him a break, dude. He's doing good. But the guy did fine. They showed like a boss fight and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they just talked about some of like, there's like a soundtrack coming for the game and kind of stuff like that. And they interviewed some of the guests about their involvement in the game. So it was kind of cool. It was cool to see Kojima again. So yeah, that's about it.
You've met him before, right? Or you've seen him before?
Yeah, I've seen him a couple times. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was cool. It was open to the public, so it was cool. I know a bunch of fans were there, so that was probably really rad for them.
Probably Dusty Boy's first time seeing Kojima, right?
I think so. I think it was. Yeah.
Our little Dusty Boy.
Our little Dusty Boy. Yeah, getting to see
a little Kojima event.
Getting to see Big Daddy Kojima, yeah. Mm-hmm. And Jeff Keighley was there, of course, glazing him the entire time. So,
of course,
as he does. So it's good shit. All right, but yeah, I was at Summer Game Fest for 3 days. Can't talk about it yet. Well, maybe I think the show might be out by the time you guys hear this episode, so you can hear me and Dustin's thoughts about Summer Game Fest and all our impressions and all that kind of stuff.
You guys did a Sacred Plus or something, or what?
No, we did for Summon Sign.
Ooh.
Summon Sign's all about us at Summer Game Fest.
Okay.
We shot it in my dining room together. It was fun. My dad makes a cameo in it as well, so you can see my dad.
No kidding. So is it just Summon Sign with you and Dustin together?
Yeah. At a dining room table, yeah.
Wow,
I'm so mad that you didn't do it sitting side by side.
We are like,
camera.
well, we are kind of sitting, like, I'm on one side of the table and he's on the other, but not like across from each other.
No, like it would have been so funny to just have you two just buddied up, like just like this right here.
Oh yeah, not quite like that, but we're very close to each other right there. So you can write all your fucking fanfics.
Yeah, wouldn't it be out right now?
Maybe, yeah. I'm not exact. We might have to push it. I'm not exactly sure what time. We just have to check embargo stuff.
Gotcha.
So we'll double check all that. So I'm not going to lock anything, but it's probably out by the time you hear this. Maybe. So keep an eye out. It'll be there. All right, guys. I think we should move on to other news besides Switch 2. Of course, we'll talk about Switch 2 more in the future and what we're playing on and all that good stuff. But
yeah, it really sucks that we finally have like games and consoles to talk about, and it's like nothing. Like we've all been too busy.
Just busy time, yeah. Like
Liza time, man. Yeah.
Can I interject? Like,
no.
Okay. Months ago, someone wrote in to tell us about the game Cattle Country that I believe they were working on, and they had wrote in though to say that I should keep an eye out for it.
I was gonna say, this sounds familiar.
I really like it, and the game is out now. I want to let the dear listener know I've had that browser tab open ever since you told me about the game, and I've just been refreshing it periodically. And then I refreshed it yesterday and was like, oh. And it's out. I think it's been out for like 2 weeks. But it is out on Switch and Steam. I just want to give them a shout out. I've not played it yet. There's a demo on Switch. I'm absolutely going to download that. Seeing on Reddit, there's a Steam demo as well. But I just wanted to do the follow up for that because this listener wrote in a long time ago, and I have been refreshing that tab weekly to see when it would come out. And so she's here now.
Yeah.
And I'm actually quite excited to finally play the demo because every time I open that tab to refresh it, I was like, damn it, because I really wanted to check it out.
Yeah, it came out May 27th. That's when it came out.
Yeah, so between all the Switch 2 excitement, I definitely just didn't check the tab that week. And then when last time I checked it, I was like, oh shit, it's here.
Yeah,
so
it's here. Very cool. All right, shout out. All right, guys. Other news, here we go. The Zelda movie has been delayed a little bit.
Thank God.
Please. Just
I'm waiting. Yeah. Just cancel it. All right.
Just cancel it, man.
Miyamoto went on the Nintendo account on Twitter. He wrote, "This is Miyamoto. For production reasons, we are changing the release date of the live action film The Legend of Zelda to May 7th, 2027. It will be some weeks later than releasing the timing we originally announced. And we will take extra time to make the film as good as it can be. Thank you for your patience." I don't know, guys, none of us are feeling good about this movie. No one is hyped.
No one is hyped.
We are not hyped.
I don't want it. I don't want a Zelda movie.
Why wouldn't you just make it animated?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Oh my God. Zelda has such I say this as a new Zelda fan. Zelda has such a variety of art styles to choose from. You could have done like an Into the Spider-Verse type thing where like you had the different art styles mashing together at different points. Like, Link's going between the different Hyrules, and at one point it's Wind Waker style and then it's a Link's Awakening style. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse, so I'm saying that based on pictures I've seen. Maybe that's not what it is at all.
Sure, no,
but it seems like that. And it's like you could have done so much to celebrate all the different art styles of Zelda in an animated form. You could have done a million, like, oh my God, the darkness of Twilight Princess world. Like, you could have done so much with an animated movie to celebrate the many eras and styles of Zelda. And instead it's like, well, this one will do real people. And it's like, oh man,
yeah,
it sucks.
It's insane, man. It's an insane decision. I don't get. That's not the idea to do live action with.
I know. I think it's slop brains at Illumination being like, no man, people love seeing.
Well, this is through Sony. Does Sony own Illumination, or is that Universal? I don't know who owns it, but
who is making it? I don't know.
It's Sony's producing it. I know. So you can get like for such hit films like Morbius. The Amazing Spider-Man.
Purpose.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, what are you fucking doing?
Oh, is it like Arad? Like yeah. Well, it's the same thing then. Yeah, it's a slot brains of Sony.
Yeah, it's slot brain. It's 100% slot brain. So none of us are stoked
Brad,
about
it.
It is
Avi
Arad. Yeah, he's a fucking guy who ruined the Spider-Man franchise.
Yes, I am, Micah.
No, my God, I love the Andrew Garfield one.
I like him as Peter Parker, but I think those movies suck dick.
Oh,
they're bad.
Yeah, no, he was the one who said no. Spider-Man 3 needs more villains because people love having lots of villains in the story.
Yeah.
And it was the worst one, although it was still a pretty good movie. So I don't know,
but
it's not like a good movie though. Like it's not like I love Spider-Man 3. I love what it says about the characters, and I love what it did to the lore of this story character. Like nobody fucking says that. Everybody always says, yeah, Spider-Man 3 is really fun despite everything, you know? So it's like, do we really want a Zelda? Like, yeah, a Zelda movie is fun despite everything. Or, wow, they really did Zelda justice.
Yeah.
I can't imagine saying that, you know? It's like whoever was running the Sonic the Hedgehog movies should probably do it, I think, because they're better stewards of IP, I think, than... which is funny because Sonic started out so like as potentially one of the bigger disasters, and they just
oh my God,
it's like it's just the best one actually.
Yeah,
you know, get Craig Mazin to direct the Legend of Zelda movie.
Yeah,
after The Last of Us, make him do Zelda, and Zelda will be like, I'm gonna be a dad.
Yeah, Bella Ramsey as Zelda. Yeah.
Oh my God. People would explode.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the discourse? Like,
What if they made her like a Goron? That'd be pretty sick, actually.
Dude,
hear me out though. Bella Ramsey as like Link's Awakening style Link could work. That could work.
That could be cute. Yeah, Bella Ramsey could actually work as Link, I think.
No, let's stop this. No,
that'd be adorable. I'm saying that as a compliment. I think it'd be cute.
I'd rather have a Muppet.
I'm actually with you, Micah. But
I'd rather just have a Muppet do it. Get some weird Muppet.
It would break everyone's brains if Bella Ramsey was anywhere near the Zelda movie. But yeah, put them in and make Craig Mazin write it. You know,
you might as well at this point you might as well just make it as shitty as possible.
Yeah,
so it's Tom Holland and Zendaya as Link and Zelda.
Yeah,
and they swapped the parts though. So Tom Holland is Zelda.
Yeah. Let's move on before I get more depressed. This is good news. Mina the Hollower finally got a release date. This is Yacht Club's game from Yacht Club Games. Finally, I played this game like 4 years ago. They gave me a demo of it, and it's been forever cooking, but it's finally coming out on Halloween. Now, if you guys don't know what it is a very much Game Boy Color inspired. It looks like a Zelda game, almost like that, but he plays Mina. She's a little mouse. She's got a whip and stuff like that. The demo I played years ago was very fun, so I'm very much looking forward to this. I know Colin is a huge Yacht Club person, so he's probably very excited about this. Micah, what do you think about this so far?
Oh, no, this looks like way too difficult for me.
Way too difficult? Okay.
It looks cool. But I'm looking at some of these different sections of gameplay, and I'm like, nah, I don't have the skill for this. Like, I was not a Shovel Knight person, horrible at it. So I was like, I know my limits.
Yeah.
I know my limits.
Yeah. Gene, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm totally down with Mina. This is definitely one of my more anticipated games. I play Shovel Knight. I just never finished it. And I've been meaning to get back to it, you know.
Shovel Knight's great.
It's been several years. It's like Persona 5. I just like played it and really enjoyed it. And I just never got back to it. So I should probably try it again.
The expansions they added are really good.
I know, exactly. Yeah, it's such a rich, full, like content rich game now. So
yeah, it's crazy.
I think I'll have a great time getting back to it. But you know, and that'll keep me busy till Mina. But along with so many other games, dude.
Yeah, of course. There's no shortage. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just happy to see this finally get a release date. Because
Ninja gonna Rage Bell. That's another huge one. Up. So the music.
I tried to play it at Summer Game Fest, but it was all booked up. But there's a Steam demo for it, I believe, right now. So if you guys want to check it out, that is there.
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm like Colin in that I'm actually looking more forward to that than Ninja Gaiden 4.
Oh, really?
Kind of. Like Ninja Gaiden 4 looks really good though. Like that new trailer they showed off at the Xbox show. Like that shit looks really sick. So I'm really glad for the return of Ninja Gaiden in general.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It's the year of the ninja, strong with Shinobi as well. All right, cool. Another feel good announcement right here. Scott Pilgrim's back.
Oh,
Scott Pilgrim EX, a brand new Scott Pilgrim game. The last one was a cult classic, I would say, beat 'em up, the PS3, Xbox 360 era. Micah, are you thrilled about this at all? Did you play the original?
No, I love the Scott Pilgrim movie with Michael Cera. I've seen it many, many times. I don't want any more Scott Pilgrim though.
Okay.
Like I just gotta be dead honest with you. Like I love that specific movie, but I have no interest in more Scott Pilgrim in any other medium.
Did you watch the Netflix show?
No, exactly. I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that existed.
Because I understand wholeheartedly that the movie version of Scott Pilgrim paints him a little more sympathetically of like he's like kind of more of an idiot than manipulative and actually bad. Like the original character kind of is. So I fully understand that, and I like that version of Scott Pilgrim where Michael Cera is just kind of stupid and well-intentioned but dumb. I don't really want the other version of Scott Pilgrim if that's kind of where these go, especially like the Netflix show. It's like, no, I don't want him to be like kind of a jerk. I liked him this way where he was just a moron, and he makes bad decisions that unintentionally hurt other people. Right. So the movie has a very special place in my heart and I love it, but I don't really actually want the truer to form Scott Pilgrim that other people, make.
The movie is great. The movie is great.
It's so fun.
You got a good amount of Scott Pilgrim in that movie. There's a lot more to it, but yeah. I mean, the games are really fun, though. The games are really fun.
Like I've seen people say like, oh, Scott Pilgrim in the movie, he is genuinely like a nicer guy, and I'm like, good, because I like that one.
Good, it's like, okay, good. I got the good version then. Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, like I like that movie, but I don't know. I don't need much of like the social commentary on he's actually kind of a bad, like a shitty person. I don't need it. I don't want to taint that version of it that I have.
Okay. Gene, what do you think about the game?
I'm very excited. I love the first Scott Pilgrim game. It's a historically important game. It is one of the first like games to like kind of like kickstart the retro indie vibe. It wasn't an indie game because it was by Ubisoft, right? But it really inspired other smaller studios to be like, oh, we can be successful by leaning into this aesthetic and really leaning into like this 8-bit style again, So I am really grateful for Scott Pilgrim for doing that, and the original game was great. It was a very much like a River City ransom like RPG. Where you like level up. It was kind of imbalanced. When you just get a little too powerful by the end of the game, but that took forever, So I'm looking forward to seeing how this version does. But I love beat 'em ups, and Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up is like the perfect genre for the story. I mean, if you like if you like the movie, Micah, like the game is actually like a pretty good version of that story, like in game version actually. Okay. So
I just didn't want it to be like the real thing.
No, yeah, like all of the Scott Pilgrim is a manipulative, like misogynistic, like man person or whatever like that. Like that's like not in the game at all. It's just like,
okay.
Oh, my exes are here and I have to fight them, and then they explode into coins. That's literally the same. That's the same plot in the original game, like Scott Pilgrim and versus the World. It's just the game version of the movie. It's really good. But you probably don't need to play the whatever this next version is. I'm excited for it because it's also written by Brian O'Malley,
the creator,
the original creator too. So it's like, oh, okay. Like I liked the Netflix show too. I thought it was really interesting, and it was like a, it's very much like in the same flavor as like Final Fantasy VII Remake or something like that. Definitely tries to do something a little different.
Cool.
Or a lot different. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but people, I'm so glad that like over at Sacred, they made fun of the guy who
the Walt Disney guy, the Walt Disney guy.
He was making fun of. They were making fun of the guy who thought that game length is a spoiler. And it's like I'm really glad that more of these people are speaking up. because I need everyone else to see how insane some of you people are about spoilers. Really.
Sure, yeah.
Truly.
Yeah,
Game length as a spoiler, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And I need you guys to understand that.
All right. Something that's ridiculously awesome, Gene. Final Fantasy VII Remake has a launch window now. They showed this at the Xbox event. It's coming to Xbox now. 16 is on Xbox now. So if you're curious about it, you can check it out there. But it's slated for winter this year. Are you going to play it there again, Gene? On Switch 2?
Totally.
Yeah?
I'll play the whole stupid series over again on the Switch. I'm not like mega looking forward to it. I'll definitely buy it, you know.
No, Gene,
I'm not going to buy it.
You're not going to buy it? I'm only going to buy it.
It's too stinky.
I'm only going to buy it just because the novelty of finally having like the new Final Fantasy VII game on Nintendo, you know, the console, the console and company that lost to me when they did not have Final Fantasy VII. This is like going back decades, you know.
Yeah.
Where, you know, Squaresoft said, if Nintendo is not going to make CDs as the game platform, whatever medium, then we're jumping over to PlayStation. And I was like, well, sorry, Nintendo. I'm going where Final Fantasy is, you know. But I always felt bad about that. I'm like, Final Fantasy belongs to Nintendo, you know. At least that was their home. Which is why I only play Dragon Quest on Nintendo too. And it's like, so it would just feel like it's a nice return home for me to finally have Final Fantasy VII back on Nintendo, but it's like a new version, you know. So I'll be playing it at least for the novelty of that, for sure.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna skip it. I'll play it if I play it again. There's PS5 version or PC.
I totally get it. I'm kind of not looking forward to playing it again, but, you know. But maybe by winter I will be. You know, I definitely would not play it right now if it was out right now.
Yeah, of course not. No, yeah, it's too much shit.
Not.
All right. Sticking with Final Fantasy Tactics. The Ivalice Chronicles finally officially announced, the long-rumored NVIDIA leak years ago. It's finally here. It's coming out and everything, including Switch and Switch 2. Micah, now's your time to play it. You're in, right?
Oh, I'm so excited. This is a game that has been recommended to me more times than I can count. It was just simply not a game that was easy to play, easy to access. So I am super excited for this. Colin and I watched that trailer together and I was like, oh, hell yeah, dog. Like, I can't wait to finally play this game. And not too long to wait either, because I was nervous. Like, oh man, don't let this be like, 2 years away or some shit. So I'm hyped about this. I cannot wait. That's a day one. Well, actually, day one. I already pre-ordered it. So yeah.
Oh,
it's a day one for me.
Nice. Hell yeah. Gene, you in?
For Tactics? Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mentioned last week, I think, that I'm not like begging for Tactics to come back. But I'm very, very happy to see it updated. And you know what actually made me excited for this game is the fact that they're including the original version too.
Yeah.
Like
I think it's the War of the Lions version.
I was like,
I think
that's the winner right there. That's a good conversion. That's a good port. I will absolutely support that. I love when the remakes of the games include the old version too.
Yeah,
that's perfect. Yeah. That's a good service. That's good for game preservation. Let's keep it going. So that trailer itself, I was like, oh, good Tactics. But when I saw the features, I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting that for sure.
Yeah.
Like with the voice acting too, with the new voice acting, you got Ben Starr and Brianna White, and you got all the whole Final Fantasy cast from other games in there. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so very cool. Comes out September 30th, so not too far away. I'm very excited to replay that game. It's been a long time since I've gone through it all the way. Since the PSP days. All right. Final little news story here. Nintendo randomly today, on a Tuesday at 6 a.m., just dropped a trailer for Splatoon Raiders. This is the first Splatoon spin-off game. Now, let me read you what they sent out in a press release. In the role of a mechanic, players will go on an adventure in the mysterious Spherolite Islands alongside the Splat-tacular Deep Cut Trio. Those are the characters, I guess, that are in Splatoon 3, like the radio hosts or whatever, DJ people. I'm not sure, but I recognize them. They have the Stingray guy. Additionally, a free update for the Splatoon 3 game is coming to Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 on June 12th. The update features the Splatlands collection, consisting of new weapons from the Barzushi and Embers brand based on previous weapons. These new additions have fresh looks with different sub and special weapons. There are a total of 30 new weapon kits in the collection. A returning stage from the original Splatoon game on Wii U called Urchin Underpass will also be added to the stage rotation. Plus, all new weapon freshness caps will be raised and players can earn new in-game badges. A new stat will be added for the Anarchy Battle series called Series Weapon Power. It will track and players' effectiveness per weapon based on their win/loss ratio in battles and will then match them with players in a similar power. This makes it possible for players to try new weapons without being disadvantaged and push the limits of their favorite weapons. Further, with this new update, Splatoon 3 players on Nintendo Switch 2 can enjoy more detailed visuals and smoother appearances in locations like Splatsville and the Grand Festival grounds today. Today's trailer also confirmed that Splatoon 3 players will be able to play together across both Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. So yeah, we got a spin-off game and a big patch or update coming for Splatoon 3, Switch 2 version, which is very nice, and it has cross-play between both Switches. So that is awesome. This was very random that it just came out now. I was like, wait, what? Why is this coming out too? Like, it feels like there was kind of a direct happening soon, but maybe not, I guess. Maybe they decided to just get this out randomly, but this feels like a direct announcement. But Gene, I don't know. What do you think about all this? The Splatoon action going on. First spin-off game.
This is cool. I'm more excited for the free update for Splatoon
than
3.
the new game?
Yeah, because I have been kind of looking forward to a reason to go play Splatoon 3 again.
Oh, okay.
I actually reinstalled it on my Switch 2. So that should be fun. How did your system transfers go for the Switch 2?
Mine was pretty smooth.
Yeah, mine was fine.
I did it from my Switch OLED to the Switch 2, but then they wanted me to re-download every game, and that was kind of annoying to have to.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially since my original Switch OLED, it has a 2 terabyte card, actually. So I actually have over 100 games installed in my Switch 1.
Oh, man.
So it was a little bit crazy to see my Switch 2 with only 250 gigs, 256 gigs. Like, I don't know what to do with all this data, and it just like would stop or whatever. So I had to like stop a bunch of games from downloading. What was interesting though is that it actually transferred over saves from games that don't have save cloud. So I don't think Animal Crossing works. I think Animal Crossing is actually hard locked to your console, like whatever console you start on with. But my Dark Souls save, which doesn't use Nintendo Switch Save Cloud, jumped onto my Switch too. And then when I checked back my Switch OLED game, my saves were gone. My saves are just gone from the Switch OLED. So they're all on my Switch 2 now, which is an interesting thing. So, keep in mind for people out there who either don't want their saves on the Switch 2 or do want it, Yeah. I thought it was a little weird. I'm a little bummed that it's gone off my Switch 1. So I don't know.
Yeah. Micah, what do you think about the Splatoon news?
Yeah, I liked Splatoon 2 a lot, as people know, but the single player content was never interesting to me. I strictly just wanted to play the multiplayer. Like, I had so little interest in anything else in Splatoon. Like, I just would go online and play and do the Splatfests and all that. So spin-off game, I'll keep an eye out to see more of what it actually is. Could be interesting. I don't own Splatoon 3. I have been considering getting it because playing Mario Kart online has reminded me, I do miss online games. I did not buy Call of Duty last year or anything. So I'm kind of having fun being online again. I'm considering getting Splatoon 3, and now this would be a good time to do so. But in terms of the single player game, I'll remain skeptical, but maybe interested.
I'm not huge on Splatoon. I've played 2 and 3, and I think they're good games. Just something about them doesn't click with me, but I know a lot of people love Splatoon, so I'm stoked. But I'm curious to see what this new spin-off game will be. Maybe it'll be a little more interesting to me. Whatever it is, but it is big news to just randomly drop at 6 a.m. on a Tuesday. So
yeah,
way to go, Nintendo.
Souls.
Yeah,
that's
Splatoon Souls. That's right.
To get Brad involved.
Yeah, that actually would get me interested probably more. Turn-based RPG Splatoon, yeah. Now we're talking. All right, time for some questions from the audience or write-ins to end the show. We got Brino Becerra here. Hello, dear punchers. The Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is currently sitting on a 53 Metacritic score with 18 reviews, while the user score is a 3.6, making it one of the worst reviewed Nintendo first parties of all time. Do you guys believe the harsh scores are exclusively tied to the fact that this is paid, or do you guys think the game just isn't that interesting? I think it being paid is a huge part of it, for sure. I haven't played through all the content, and there are some problems, like you need the camera and all this stuff to actually see everything. But the fact that you have to pay for it and get like these additional things on it, yeah, definitely hurts it. I don't think it would be very high if it was free anyways. It'd be higher, I think, but paid is definitely a big factor. Gene, what do you think?
Okay, well, first of all, user scores are useless. You should not be using them as any kind of metric other than, who are people trolling today or glazing today?
Sure.
It is insane, honestly, to me, that Expedition 33 had the highest Metacritic user score ever when the game had just come out that day. Nobody had played the game. You're all just basing it on the first hour or so. Final Fantasy 16 also had an incredible first hour or so, and how well did that turn out for most of you? So you should not be using the user score for anything. Now, for the actual Metacritic score, I'm looking at the Metacritic here. Not a lot of there's Stephanie Sterling on the Jimquisition who gave it a 10. So there's that, but we know Sterling likes to give like stunt low reviews. And then there's Game Rant with 30 score. So that's respectable, I guess. So not IGN gave it a 50. It's not worth their money, and even if it was a packing game, like it was always felt meant to be, it'll only be barely worth their time. So again, I really haven't played much of it other than some fun mini games. I do think that it not being free is a huge factor.
Yeah.
I think people would be a lot kinder to it if it wasn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Micah, what do you think?
Having not played it, but just having been on some of the forums, that's the number one thing I keep seeing coming up is just that it's not a pack-in game. So I definitely think that is just where most of the vitriol is coming from. I obviously can't speak to whether it's fun or not, but what I've seen people saying online would line up with, if this was free, maybe they would treat it nicer. And that's valid too. If you genuinely think you wasted your $10, it's valid to be upset about that.
Yeah. Okay, this is from Chris Banging Ladies Wearing the Green Goblin Mask. This is our audience, guys.
This is our audience.
To be fair, we cultivated it. We did this to ourselves.
And I mean, that's the Green Goblin mask hot. So
yeah. All right. Hello, 28 Fists Later. I don't even know how to respond to that. Last week,
you wouldn't have sex with someone while wearing a Green Goblin mask. Okay,
I mean,
Bradley.
I would, yeah, but it's not gonna do anything for
of
me.
course, Micah thinks it's super hot. So
yeah.
I know. Ever since I showed people that hot clown guy on YouTube, people were like, "No, I know what's wrong with you."
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Hello, 28 Fists Later. Last week, I picked up my Switch 2 on release. Dude, Mike is fucking losing it right now, dude. Having a chuckle fest. Haven't been lucky enough to get a reserve from GameStop. When picking up my new console, I noticed a 20% off sign for a pre-owned game when purchasing a console. And so I picked up a game to christen my new handheld, and that game was Metroid Prime Remastered. When I got home, I opened the case, and inside I did not, in fact, find the remaster, but instead I found Metroid Dread.
Oof.
Question to the Jedi Council is, what do you believe to be the better choice? Should I keep Dread and get Prime sometime down the line, or should I take my receipt back to GameStop and inform them of their error? I'll step on the freeway without looking both ways and listen. Oh boy.
This guy needs to have a stand-up show, first of all.
Yeah. Micah loved you, so well done. You got her to laugh like 4 times.
Oh my god, this is top tier writing. Top tier.
All right, Gene, what should he do?
It's tough. I love both games. I think you should, if you want in Prime, you should go back and try to get Prime.
I was gonna say you should go back and get Prime just to get the actual correct case in game.
Yeah, exactly. Like it would bug the shit out of me if I just have like the wrong case for it anyways. So like at least get the right case for Dread. Yeah. If you want to keep Dread.
Yeah.
I do think Prime is a better game still too. So.
Sure. Yeah. I could see that. Yeah. I don't know which one I'd say. Maybe I would just say Prime because Prime 4 is on the horizon, so you can get a little taste of it.
Yes, and it runs. It already ran beautifully at 60 frames per second on the Switch 1. Yeah. You know, and Dread did too on the Switch 1 as well. And I'm looking for. I didn't try either game, but I bet.
Yeah, I didn't try Dread. Yeah, I didn't try either Metroid game.
Let me boot them up right now. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I will note that on the GameStop app, Metroid Dread pre-owned is more expensive than Metroid Prime.
How much more?
So Metroid Dread is listed as $47.49 if you're a Pro member, and then Metroid Prime on Switch is $36.09.
Okay,
so $11 difference.
I'm trying to think. Prime was always $40 though.
Yeah, Metroid Prime. I was gonna say was I think $40.
Yeah, so you got the more expensive game, presumably for the lower price, unless they rang it up like incorrectly, and you look at your receipt and realize it was for Dread as well, but
the cases are it's swapped.
You just go on the Cover Project and print out a new case. It's easy. I do it all the time. Bradley, we don't be a snob.
It's not real.
This.
It's not real. It's fake.
No, it's real. Bradley, if they give you the wrong case, okay, or if they give you no case at all and you got to make your own, all right, it's good enough.
If someone was like
case for Link Between Worlds,
if I was going to buy this game and they're like, yeah, I made the cover myself. I printed it out. I'd be like, eh.
Oh, dude. I mean,
no thanks.
I have a funny picture from PAX East one year. I'll have to find it and send it to you. Of like somebody just hand drew a cover for a game, and it was fucking terrible. It was really funny.
That is funny.
Dread looks really nice on the Switch too, for sure.
Okay.
Missing the OLED screen.
Yeah.
Because that was a really good game for OLED, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
With the very sharp blacks, but Dread looks really good on the Switch too, though. It runs really well. It looks like it's at a higher resolution.
All right. Well, I would say go back and get the correct case, but
I would say go back. Let me pop them.
If that doesn't bother you at all, then Dread is more expensive. So
just do a stealth mission like that other guy wrote in about, where he swapped the cases that were on the shelf.
Yeah, just steal it, dude. No problem.
No, you're swapping. You're not stealing. I'm giving you a case and I'm taking back the other one. That's not stealing. All right, it's the old switcheroo.
You're taking something that they don't know about. You're being sneaky about it.
They drew first blood. All right,
that's true.
So like they did this first, and I'm just going teat for teat.
Whatever makes you feel better about being a thief, Micah. It's okay.
Bradley, this is not thievery. This is not thievery at all.
Okay, here we go. This is from Unkempt Talk. Sup Nintendo Dorks or Nintendorks. Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Okay, so Beast of Reincarnation is Game Freak's new game. Can we take a moment to marvel at the fact that the Game Freak is developing the game that looks like that? This is the same studio that put out Scarlet and Violet, which I think are actually good games, but ran unacceptably horrible on Switch 1. Is Nintendo / the Pokemon Company the real problem with lackluster fidelity of Switch-era Pokemon games? Has Game Freak been phoning it in since the Switch generation while they pursue their passion project? Thanks for the great show. P.S. I wrote the same thing to Summon Sign and realized this might be more appropriate here. Well, good thing, because I didn't read it on Summon Sign. So this is the correct spot. Yeah, it definitely feels like Game Freak was phoning it in on Switch. And that's the impression I get from a lot of longtime Pokemon fans after certain gens that feel like they're phoning it in, because this new game, Beast Reincarnation, does look much more impressive. And I know it's not a stinky Switch, but man, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were just fucking awful. Just embarrassing. Gene, we were talking about this earlier. You agree with this, right?
Yeah, real quick, Metroid Prime looks great too. So
okay,
on the Switch,
nice
too. Yeah, I agree with it. It sure seems like that. Maybe Nintendo is the one saying, "Hey, could you guys keep making a Pokemon game every year?"
Yeah,
and they're like, "We could make a really good one if you took a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's like, shut the fuck up.
Shut up, bitch. Get this Pokemon game out. Yeah.
Why don't you shut the fuck up, bitch? Make some money.
Chopping off people's pinkies like Yakuza style. Like, this
exactly,
is what happens.
dude.
You don't get a Pokemon game every year.
Yeah, and on the side, like, I actually want to do a story on this. I don't know if
that'd be interesting.
I don't know if they'd be able to talk about it, but it's like, I want someone to do a story on why Game Freak is able to make a game that's not Pokemon. And
they've been let out of the Pokemon jail.
Yeah, and it just looks like a regular, like regular game.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. They're rebelling against their master.
I've never seen anything like it. I don't know. Like, has Game Freak ever made any other game? Like, let me check.
I think so. I can't recall off the top of my head, but I think they have.
Game Freak games Wikipedia. Starting with Pokemon. Click Medic for PlayStation.
There's one.
Pokemon Yellow. Harmonite for Nintendo. That's interesting. Pocket Card Jockey in 2013 for Nintendo 3DS, iOS, and Android. Tembo the Badass Elephant for Xbox.
Dude, I remember that game.
Oh, you know Tembo the Badass Elephant?
Yeah.
Yeah, published by Sega.
Cool. Yeah, Timbo. I forgot they made that, dude.
Yeah. Oh, Little Town Hero. That's right. They made Little Town Hero. I forgot about that.
Little Town. Wasn't that game dog shit? I'm trying to remember.
I think it wasn't good. Reception mixed for average reviews. So it wasn't that great. Yeah. Not a lot going on other than the elephant game. Tembo the Badass Elephant.
Yeah.
Little Town Hero. Giga Wrecker for Windows. What the hell is this?
Huh.
Puzzle
They've kind of been all over the place.
Developed by Game Freak. Yeah. So not a ton, but this is definitely the first PS5 game that they're making. So
yeah.
Oh, Giga Wrecker Alt for PS4 and Xbox One. Okay, interesting. That's crazy. So, yeah. So yeah, they can work for other. They can do this, and this is another rare look at them just being outside again.
Yeah. So
shout out to Game Freak.
Definitely their most graphically impressive game. So very exciting. Probably their most expensive game as well. All right. This is from Milky Moon. Hello, Block Fisters. Happy Switch 2 launch week. I'm excited for all the great sequels we'll get this generation, but I'm hoping to get some new Mario related games. My question is, where would you like to see the Mario gang go next? They've played soccer, tennis, and golf, gotten together to play board games and Smash. They've raced go-karts, busted ghosts, hit the RPG space, and even contributed to America's opioid crisis by pushing pills as doctors. I want a sequel to all this stuff, but I also want something new. What new genre would you like to see the Mario gang show up in this generation? And what would those games look like? Thank you, and so long, Gay Bowser. Classic Mario 64 line. They took that out of the All-Stars version for Switch.
What?
They took it out, yeah. They claim he said, so long, King Bowser. He says Gay Bowser, 100%.
He slipped it in.
Yeah, Charles Monnier. I forgot how to say his name, but yeah, he for sure said it.
That's why they replaced him.
Yep. That's why he got cut.
Many years later.
I just saw something too, like he's forbidden from doing Mario voices like on camera or some shit like that for promotions. Yeah, he like can't do anymore. Nintendo's got like a red laser dot on his head.
We didn't even mention that they're replacing Princess Peach after 18 years.
Oh my God, I forgot to bring that up. Yeah, you're right.
Voice.
That's right. Yeah.
What was her name? Samantha Kelly has been doing the voice of Princess Peach for 18 years and was notified when Mario Kart World came out that she would no longer be doing the voice. So salute to her because that's quite sad.
Yeah, it is quite sad, dude. They're slowly taking him out to pasture.
Yeah,
right,
I tried to like not care, but yeah. It's Peach's voice, man. She that's the voice that I fell in love with for the last several years, So it's like,
yeah,
how can I not feel like really, really bad for her? I'm glad that like Nintendo eventually told her, but like it sucks to like be told when the game's out, and it's like, oh yeah, they're kind of moved on.
Yeah.
But that's what it is, though. Donkey Kong has a new design, Mario has a new voice, and so does Peach.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking about the long term, I guess.
Yeah.
who's going to be Peach for the next 18 years. That's just a plan. But shout out to Samantha. I'm bummed. I'm bummed for her.
Yeah, she's great.
Especially since I looked at her Instagram and she seemed to really, really love the role. Like she would always do like cute little voices with Peach, like Peach dolls and everything like that. And I'm like, oh fuck, that's adorable.
Right, but she said she would have kept doing the voice forever. So it is like, oh
yeah,
man,
it's like Charles. He probably would have kept trying to do it forever too.
That actually breaks my heart. Actually, I'm actually like low key like tearing up right now. So I try not to care, but
no, I saw it and I was just like, I just don't like how callous it seemed, because it's like, I don't know, man, you work, because people are like, that's how it is in the industry. It's like, I don't know, man, if you work somewhere for 18 years and they kind of just let you go without even like, at least Charles Martinet, they were like, he's an ambassador now and this and this and this. It's like, and with Samantha, unfortunately, it seems like they were just like, all right, thanks. So I don't know, man. Nintendo, like, celebrate this woman a little bit. She works here for 18 years.
Right.
It's a long ass time.
It's
more than half my life.
Yeah, and it's more than just like yips and yaps by Zelda and Link. Like Peach was one of the chattiest characters, probably if not the chattiest. Besides, she also did Toad too. So I don't know.
Oh, she did Toad. Dude.
I forgot. Yes, she also voiced Toad, which was. It's so surprising because you see this like her face and it's like, oh my god, this like this nice pretty lady's doing like that, like Toad voice.
It's really adorable, like old lady. Like,
because I never looked into who voiced these characters, and I'm like, oh my god, it's not what I expected at all. Besides like Charles Martinet, because he was well known, it's like I haven't looked up, who voiced these people otherwise, because I wanted it to be the illusion.
Mm-hmm.
So does she do Toad in Mario Kart World?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. In the meantime, while Gene's looking that up, Micah, where do you want to see the Mario crew go next in gaming?
Jeez, man, I don't know. Like, I just give me more of the sports games, because I just like those.
What sport do you want?
It doesn't matter,
You want pickleball?
That's a new hot thing. Part of why I gave up on Bumble BFF was because everybody wants to play pickleball, and it's like, I don't want to fucking do this. Yeah. It's hot as hell here, man. I don't want to do this. But yeah, like just bring back the Mario and Sonic Olympic games. Okay, like those
aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like, I'm gonna be honest, in terms of new ideas, I'm not much of an ideas man. But I would love just more. Give me more Mario.
How about like
soccer or whatever?
How about like an Animal Crossing style game, the Mushroom Kingdom?
See, that's kind of what I thought. This is what they should have done with the Mario Kart free roam, because it would have been super cool to like Gene said, get out of the cart and like you go into Yoshi's restaurant to like get your items, or like they have like a little boutique with all the outfits you've unlocked and you go try them on, and there's like a photo mode, like and that could have been very much like the retail store in Animal Crossing, like
just a little bit of spice,
that could have had some Animal Crossing flavor. I'm not saying it has to be as involved as Animal Crossing, but there could have been a little boutique that you stop at to try on all your outfits, and there could have been like you actually go into the restaurant and get your food instead of the drive-through, So yeah, could have they do something really cool? They could, but will they, Brad? Oh my god, no, they won't. No, they will not. So all I want is more sports games out of them. Give tennis outfit Peach, give me all that stuff. But I just want more sports. Give me a sports medley, because that's kind of what's cool. Well, I don't know, because like Mario Golf, it's only golf. But it's like, yeah, give me like the Olympic Games. It's like a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's a whole bunch. So I like those. Yeah, it's all of it. It's all of it in one big burrito. You go to Chipotle, you order a burrito. You just getting beans in it? No, you wouldn't do that.
No,
I'm getting a bowl anyways, but I wouldn't just get beans in it.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up.
Okay, yeah, it looks like she doesn't do Toad in Mario Kart World. Her name doesn't show up in the voice credits at all.
Damn,
that's rough, man.
Gene, anything you would like to see the Mario or Mario crew go to in gaming?
I don't know, man. Mario's done everything.
RTS Mario game.
I'll just steal your guys' idea. Like a Mario Kart and Animal Crossing would be pretty dope.
Yeah,
I think.
There we go. All right, let's see here. This is from John Carroll. Hey, Punching Up crew. What are your feelings on the Switch 2 operating system being so similar to the original Switch, even to the point that the menus are still in 1080p? Are you a fan of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach like Xbox, or do you like the menu to be different every time like PlayStation? Doesn't Xbox change the menu all the time as well?
They
haven't done it for
used to. They went
Xbox
from like
One.
the blades, but like
Oh,
Gene
okay.
said,
Has it
since
been very
Xbox
similar?
One, we've been keeping it this like
Oh.
Windows 8 tile style
Oh,
thing.
right. Okay.
It's remained that way for the last several years. But like the back in the day when it was like the blades, and everything on your home screen, and then moving on from that. So they did have some dramatic changes, but they've been the same for a while now.
Gotcha. I'm really enjoying the system so far. Thanks to Brad for doing a Mario Kart lobby on release day. Racing with some of you guys will definitely make the Switch 2 launch day live longer in my memory. Thanks for all the great content. Are we a fan of the Switch menu? Just kind of reiterating on it. Or do you want something dramatically different each time?
I think it's fine. I mean, I 100% agree that it would have been more exciting to be like, oh, you power on the Switch 2 and you don't know what it's going to look like. But I don't know. I liked the Switch 1 interface. I understand some of the annoyance if you have a ton of digital games, for example, but as someone who has very few, it's like I'm totally cool with having like your tiles of your most recently played, and I don't have many of like digital titles anyway, so like I have to put the cartridge in every time it bumps what I want to play to the front of the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why people don't love it. It's also just very plain. It's extremely plain. It's kind of boring, but I didn't hate it on Switch. I'm not too upset that it's the same on Switch too. I'm with the commenters I've seen who said, we're the people who said that we just wanted a more powerful Switch. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I said. And it's what I got. And I'm happy with it. Yeah. I was not one of the people who said I want something radically different or I want the Switch to be completely overhauled. Like I did just want a more powerful Switch. And that's what we got.
Yeah. Gene, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad that we got a more powerful Switch. And I like the OS of the Switch 1, and I don't think that it needed that much improvement, but like as we were talking about, like music, themes, and this is all old stuff that people have been complaining about the Switch 1 for years. I'm surprised that we just don't have that. Like I actually, the Switch 2 has a. Remember the Switch 1 had a really cool boot up screen where it goes click at that.
Yeah.
And you just never fucking see that again because that only happens when you turn on the Switch for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So the Switch 2 had this really like neat little like opening sequence, very charming, musical. Oh my god, whimsical. I'm never gonna see this again. And then sure enough, I actually did a hard turn off or whatever you fucking want to call it on the Switch 2, and I turned it back on again, and it just doesn't show that at all either. Mm-hmm. So it's like I just wish that it would show a little bit more.
Sure.
A little bit more. Well, we should celebrate that I'm on the Switch too.
Yeah, I wish it was a little more creative, and it feels, I don't know, a little un-Nintendo like. I kind of expect always a little twist on things, I suppose, with Nintendo, but not this time. Just keeping it simple again.
It is funny to go into Nintendo Switch Online and like if you go into like the Game Boy Advance one and it has the Game Boy Advance startup that had like the high pitched like twinkly sound, which I loved when I was a kid, and I would turn it off and on just to hear it. It is funny to boot that up on Switch. Like Gene said, the Switch itself doesn't make a cool thing, but but when you go into Nintendo Switch Online and boot up their old console, emulator, it's like there it is. There's the fun. Yeah. There's the magic.
Yeah, there it is. All right, let's see here. This is from Nathan Fiedler. Hey, Punchers, Fielder? Nathan here. Glad to hear you're enjoying the latest season of my show, now streaming on HBO Max. I'm a big fan. First time writing in. Who said they were enjoying his show? I haven't heard this. Did you say this, Micah?
No, so Dustin likes The Rehearsal. I actually just haven't seen it yet. I'm a huge fan of Nathan For You. Huge fan, but I have not yet seen The Rehearsal. Dustin has recommended it to me. I just haven't checked it out yet.
Okay.
Everyone's talking about the show, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. So
yeah.
You gotta love cringe humor because it's like I think you should leave times like 1,000.
I can only handle that so much of that.
Well, that's why I love Nathan For You, but a big reason why Colin and I haven't watched it together is he can only watch like one episode of I Think You Should Leave, and then he's good for like a year. And Nathan For You is cringy as fuck. I love it.
Yeah,
but it's
there's
constantly.
Nothing wrong. It's kind of like how I am with like Curb Enthusiasm. It's so good, but it's so fucking awkward. It makes me uncomfortable watching that show.
Yes, the secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, it's hard for me to handle, dude. It's too much sometimes.
Nathan For You, if you have not seen it, dear listeners, Nathan For You is hysterical, and I highly recommend it. But secondhand embarrassment is half of what you'll be feeling the whole time. It's so funny though, dude. It's so funny.
All right, Micah, this one goes out to you. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh no.
Wario and Daisy Dukes. Otis the cow from Barnyard.
Oh.
The boat from Wind Waker. I'll get back to writing the next season of The Rehearsal. All my love, Nathan. All right.
Goodness gracious. Okay, well, we're going to kill Otis the cow from Barnyard because he's terrifying, and I wasn't a big fan of Barnyard. Not the TV show anyways. I think the movie was fine, but the TV show was awful.
Okay.
Awful. Geez, I don't...
Fuck or marry.
Well, I know. So, like, the boat from Wind Waker...
He'll take care of you.
Yeah, I know. We could go places. We could travel.
Yeah.
I guess I'd marry the boat. And I guess that leaves Wario to just be a fuck, I guess. But yeah I think I'd marry the boat because we could go places together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't really like boats, but maybe I wouldn't be so afraid of it if the boat was alive.
Yeah.
I don't have to drive the boat. I don't have to steer the boat.
That's true.
I'm just along for the ride. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. We're awaiting your fan art, guys, for that one.
The Micah and boat wedding.
Yeah. All right. Final writing here from Big Dumb Stupid Idiot. Howdy, my fellow fisting enjoyers. The lack of third-party Switch 2 ports during the Xbox Showcase and Jeffrey's Fest has some of the Big N faithful dooming. But not I, a very smart man, since I know Nintendo didn't send out dev kits until recently. What do you guys think the third-party floodgates will be open or when? Have a great day. I'll hang up and listen. Yeah, no Switch 2 announcements in the Xbox thing, which is interesting. What do you think? Should Nintendo fans be dooming?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Don't be dooming. It's too early.
I'm not giving it 5 big booms. All right. But no, it's.
I'll give it a boom.
Yeah. It's getting booms. It's getting booms. But not all the booms yet.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
I wouldn't be scared. It's gonna happen. Look at all the third-party stuff. Look at it all. It'll be here.
Yeah, there's a lot of third-party support already at the beginning. Like maybe I'll I'm just already Yakuza 0 is one of my favorite games, but I'm sure as shit not gonna fucking play it right now.
Right?
But
yeah.
The fact that it's there gives me a lot of hope and encouragement to look forward to good second. Yeah, people are like, oh my god, Persona 4 remake revival or whatever the fuck is gonna call
it's called revival.
It's gonna skip the Switch 2. I was like, guys, this is not gonna skip the Switch 2.
Yeah, it'll probably make its way eventually there.
Yeah.
It's not
gonna skip this.
They're just gonna cut off like a huge part of the Japanese market.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're a Japanese company.
They're probably making Metaphor for the Switch 2 right now,
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more of that stuff cropping up as we progress. Yeah. We're still very early in the life cycle.
I do hope for faster third-party support for the Switch too.
Yeah,
I don't want to play Doom like a year afterwards. I don't want to play Final Fantasy VII Remake like 5 years afterwards. Don't treat it like the Xbox where you get Final Fantasy 16 like way after the fact.
Yeah, like 2-3 years later.
Yeah.
Well, because so for example, the whole reason why I bought the Logitech G Cloud was because I played Kingdom Come Deliverance on Switch, and I was like, "There's just no way I'm waiting 5 years for this to maybe come to Switch 2, like the sweet sequel." So I went ahead and said, I got to find a way to play my Xbox, and I bought that handheld so I could play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on handheld. But it was like, I was not going to wait for that game. That was a must play now.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned about like the third party support, but I'm with you, Gene. I hope that it does not take super long for some of these titles. Like Kingdom Come Deliverance, first of all, it should never have been on Switch. I wholeheartedly say that. But it also admits like, man, that took years. So I hope that they're a little quicker with some of these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, I agree with you guys 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
we
give me
shall
Final
see.
Fantasy 16 on Switch 2, dog. Like, come on. I've been waiting to play this game.
Ooh, I would love to play my FS16
cool.
on the Switch too. I
I've
played
been
it
waiting
again on
this
Switch
whole
too. Do those shitty fucking side quests again, you know?
Hey, they have good payoffs, okay, man? Okay, man. Not as good as Rebirth, though. No.
It's so much better than Rebirth, and I haven't even played it yet.
I like 16 a lot.
I like 16 a lot, too.
It's got some really high highs. So I know I was making fun of like people thinking that it was like a 10 out of 10 at the intro, but it's like, you know, it's not a 10 out of 10, but it got some good shit on it.
Yeah, cool game. Cool ass game. All right, guys, that's it. We're fucking done. The Switch 2 launch week. We're going to be playing lots more in the coming weeks. Looking forward to all the news that's going to be coming up.
Oh, Capcom! I need you guys to support more of the Resident Evil games. Like no cloud games, RE2 remake, RE3
native
remake,
versions,
RE4 remake, Village 7,
all of them. Put them all in there.
Yeah, and maybe Requiem either too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
figure that out. Sort it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sort it out, bitch. Get those games out.
give me that. Give me all the games.
Yeah, they're coming. But yeah, just I get the people being antsy and wanting more stuff right now because they got brand new hardware and they want stuff to play on it.
Yeah, dude, there's so much shit to play, man. Play Liza P DLC, man.
No, dude, I bought it. I haven't even gotten to play it yet.
That shit is fucking sick. I'm not even done playing that.
Dude, Gina came out and I was like, yay. Then I was like, fuck. This is a bad time for this to come out.
I couldn't review it because I just don't have time. But so all I can do is make some tweets and say, yo, the Gunblade is one of the coolest weapons I've ever used in any game. And I'm still not done like upgrading it and upgrading all the cool stuff and Liza P. There's just too much stuff to play right now, man.
Yep,
you know,
too much.
Like you guys are getting like PlayStation people are like complaining about the state of play, man. I know nothing.
Dude, they play a lot of good shit in it.
I was like, oh my god, you're getting fucking Death Stranding 2.
Yeah, at the end of the month.
At the end of the month,
like
2
weeks.
It's the new Kojima joint. Why aren't you grateful? You fucking ingrates. Fucking ingrates.
You fucking peasants.
Cretins. My favorite
ungrateful whelps. Some of you, you know. Make me sound like Sephiroth, you know.
Yeah.
This is your Sephiroth moment.
Yeah. All right. Let's get the hell out of here. Micah, Gene, thank you both for joining me. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye. Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Bradley Ellis. My co-hosts are Gene Park and Micah Moriarty. The show is edited and produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Punching Up, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we're grateful for your kind contributions and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.